Salute everybody. Welcome to Miss Parker. Miss Parker. I hope everybody's having a blessed Friday so far. I know I am, y'all. I had to give a double XL out for this one, okay? 16%. Because these characters are giving me anxiety. It's too many characters. It's too many lies, and it's too many people trying to paint a narrative so that everybody can turn a blind eye to what happened to Nolan Wells on Horn Island. So we're gonna get into it. I want to play a video from Tisa Tales, and also we want to go over there to Officer Tatum to hear part 3 and break it down our way. Okay, let me get my shout outs out, but before I do, please hit that like button. Okay, even if you come by just strolling by or whatever, you ain't even gotta pay attention to the video. Okay, just hit the like button. Okay. Also, you guys, please help me reach my goal today. It's an incentive given to content creators by YouTube. So please help me reach that subs and thank you. Also, share the video out. It's something we can all take from these cases. Again, it's right now it's so monumental for African American people to open their eyes to the Emmett Till story. And not just Emmett Till, it happened to so many others down the line. And every time this happens to one of us, it's brushed under the rug. It's just brushed under the rug. And sooner or later, it's forgotten because it happens again and again and again and again and again and again. So these are just like forgotten names. And that's how they want us to feel and be. But we're not going this time. I think Ben Crump and his alleged circus by some is going to change things in Mississippi. I truly, honestly believe that, and uncover a lot of unspoken truths, a lot of, how do I say this? People's dead loved ones' real story, especially with Stacey Turner. Don't forget our characters, guys. We cannot forget the characters that are on board, but we just added one today. Per Tisa Tell, we just added another one, okay? Then I want to play some clips from Don Lemon and let you hear what he had to say, and also Secret Service Sam, my guy, okay? Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, scholarship, research, and educational purposes. Remember, it's something we can take and educate our homes, our sons, and different things like that. And it's not about educating our kids to be racist and things like that. It's just really putting out real facts, real knowledge to our children. It's long overdue. I think we stopped educating in the home so many years ago, and I'm guilty of not really teaching my kids the history and, talking about these kind of conversations and things like that. And we know nowadays the kids aren't paying attention. They're in their phones, they're on their tablets, one of these social media sites. So yeah, make sure to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget to misspell those damn cuss words, okay? Make sure y'all follow me on Twitch. Also, you can purchase gems over there to support me over there on Twitch. And also, get a subscription on Twitch. Don't just follow me. Get a subscription, okay? Thank you, guys. Hey, Lala, what's going on, Bookie? Hey, sister, what's happening? What's going on, Miss Wisdom? Hey, Leslie. Hey, Tay Ebony, sis. Hey, Tawana. Sweet Honey. My sister, Sweet Honey, let me shout her out before I get started. Shout out to Sweet Honey. If you are in her area, sister, if you want to let anybody that's in your area know, she is doing her second annual back to school drive. I think sister got 500 backpacks. That's a lot of backpacks. And she had some left over last year that she had to go and donate and stuff like that. But I'm super proud of you, Sweet Honey. Continue the great work, and hopefully I'll be joining you on the third annual backpack. You well, okay, sister? Hey, honey, what's going on? Make sure y'all subscribe to my sister, Honey 5K. What's going on, Barbie? What's going on, Shay Nyla? What's going on, Angel, Lashana? Next, what's going on, baby? Thank you, Keith. Appreciate you. JS, what's going on? How you been? Hell, what's going on? Love my people's in here. Wait, what? Asha Jackson, we're gonna get into this. Just can you please like the screen twice, okay? Hey, Nikki Mamas, what's going on? Hey, Sharon Taylor, hello, sis. My heart is so broken as a boy mom is so sad. I never thought in 2026 that we were gonna have to be sitting and having these conversations. I know. She said like this today. Phantom griefs is real. Yes. What's going on, BJ baby? What's going on? Oh, happy birthday, y'all. Wish Tay Ebony a happy birthday. And if anybody else has a birthday out there today or coming up, happy birthday to you. Okay. I think my sister Deborah's birthday is coming up. Happy birthday to you as well. Hey, Vibrant sis. What's going on, sister? What's going on? Let's get into it. So we adding another character on the board. Right here is my little section of characters. These are the characters. And I had to, put the box around Jax. You know what I'm saying? He had Nolan's car keys, so you got to put a star by some and you got to, do your little special markings and stuff like that. But Katie's sister has come out and made a statement. I'm going to ask y'all this. Where's the buddies? Where is the my buddy, my pal? They're going everywhere but where they need to be, right? The locations ain't locationing. The stories ain't storying. Nothing's adding up. 1+1 ain't equaling 2. Even though Officer Tatum, you are trying your hardest, your damnness. I mean, I got to give it to you. You are trying your damnness. You are stopping him when he's saying certain things. You are, recircling from what we're talking about, the real discussion. You know what I'm saying? Hey, cute for sure. Thank you for being on Twitchy Twitch. Hey, Miss Jamila, I seen you. She said they hiding. Why is Katie's sister making the F statement and not Katie? I mean, I think Katie cooperated from what I heard. I think Katie went and said, hey, he told me he had to go back, and catch the boat. They was going back. They was leaving and stuff. Hey, Betty, what's going on? They had to go back to where they was going and stuff like that. And he left her. But Katie's sister said he was beelining to get back on Wyatt's boat. And again, my perception of this case, I don't think it happened on Horn Island. I love that they're trying to paint the picture that this happened on Horn Island because he was found on Horn Island. Of course, we're going to think, well, it was too many people. Why nobody seen him on Horn Island? Why did nobody see Nolan drowning on Horn Island? Because it didn't happen on Horn Island. Officer Tatum's a traitor to his own color, a traitor. Leslie, that judge, made that comment. What's going on, Tracy SM? No, it happened somewhere else. I agree. That's just my perception, that it happened somewhere else. Horn Island is just the scapegoat, for the Officer Tatum to warn them as if they didn't know. So I want to get into his video part 3 because we know we're going to have a gazillion parts because, Officer Tatum got to get paid again. Officer Tatum, you got to get paid again, right? It's funny how it's funny to me how you're trying to paint these boys to be good boys. Talking about Wyatt Earp and Warren Beatty. I gotta call him Warren Beatty, It's crazy, but you're using Nolan's name to make a coin. But you talk about being Crump is there for the money and he always damages and stuff like that. But don't you think you're damaging the case? Because you're not even letting Warren talk, you're talking. If everybody pays attention, it's a difference from me interviewing and saying, "Hey, what happened on that island? Can we go to July the 4th? Can we kind of stay there? And what happened on July the 4th?" And when they get to their story, you stop them. So you guys went to the island. You got there about 11:30, and you guys docked. Can you tell me about the docking and how many boats? How many people would you guesstimate was out there on this island at the time? But you're telling the story, and Warren's going, "Yeah, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah." And every time it gets to an important part, like the argument, you went right past it, as if you never asked them. And the crazy and scariest part about that, I want to listen to the speaker box, and y'all know the speaker box is scary. And so I go to listen to the speaker box, and it's crazy that on the speaker box, and everybody don't listen to that, and I get it, I respect it, but I had to. And on the speaker box, Nolan said they had beef, and it scared me because Warren said his brother had an altercation. Was that altercation with Tristan? Because we know that Javon said that was Tristan that was arguing, saying, "Give me my phone." And Warren, you said something else. You said you didn't see who was grabbing who, but Nolan wasn't there. You just said you didn't see who was grabbing who and what. So how do you know who was there if you didn't see and you couldn't tell? See, we can't have it both ways. We got to make up our mind. Right, he was spoon feeding. Yeah, absolutely. She said Philadelphia, August 22nd. I will keep you updated on the location. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, I will be posting the location of everything or where sister's doing her back to school giveaway. If you're in the North Carolina area, you guys, I have three pairs of tennis shoes, right? Let me show y'all one at least. Give y'all one pair, okay? I want to give these to a kid so bad. And I'm not saying that don't nobody got it. I just want to give these to a kid so bad. But I got these, and I got two more pairs of Jordans to give away. I don't go nowhere, y'all, so they're like new. You know what I'm saying? I only wore these one time. So if you're in the North Carolina area and your son or your daughter needs some shoes, these are a 10. My foot is big, okay? I got two. But these are a 10. And I have two pair. I have a red and black pair, and I have a gray and white pair. So just let me know, and I will definitely try to get those shoes to you before school starts and stuff like that. Okay, I understand that the kids are going to school. Kids pick on kids and stuff like that. They ain't even got to say that they was given to them. You get what I'm saying? But they're brand new. I just wore them to the store and back, literally. Okay. Did you see the Nolan Wells video of being beat up? Mm-mm. Hey, Adrian, Miss Jamila, I seen there's land video out about that fight. I just seen it. I gotta check it out. What did you guys see? And later on, if anybody would like to come up before I end it to give their perspective, man, I still love that Drone, Natty, and Opinionated joined me on the panel yesterday. I really appreciate that for giving their honest opinion and perspective, and not trying to spin a narrative, just their honest perspective on this whole situation. I agree that Nolan was killed somewhere else, like on that boat. I can definitely see that. I can honestly definitely see that happening. Sis, hey TT sis, what's going on? Let's get into these videos. Let's check out part 3. I think that's where I want to start. Part 3. Let me get this screen here. Get y'all wine, y'all. It's Friday night.
All right, so I want to be clear with this one thing because I know you mentioned before. Is there any chance or any knowledge that you have that
I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. Nolan lit up every room he walked in. 4th of July was out there. And we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. The rest of the group was
having a good time? And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely.
right.
And like what explain that because you guys got there around 10.
Yeah.
It's now 4:30.
Right.
People are still out there partying and
Correct.
they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat.
Your brother just got in a fight, and obviously I have a younger brother, and that's who she was talking about, and I was freaked out. So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. My brother was kind of angry, getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, "Oh, I just got in a fight, and this guy punched me in the face."
He said he doesn't know who it was. Thank you, Capricorn Chronicles. Thank you. Officer Tatum put me on timeout for asking a question. Not put you on timeout. Cookie, I know you lying. What's going on, Designs Decor? What? Hey, Shiwana, baby. It's still on YouTube. Someone was hit in the mouth. What? I believe Nolan was unalived on the boat. I think they were fighting over the girl, and then someone picked up his phone and said, "Get off my boat." And then they pushed Nolan, and he slipped and fell and hit. Sandra, I thought that. I honestly thought that. I did. I thought that. But then I thought about not pushing him in the water, but definitely hitting him with something and some more stuff, but I don't think he ever got in that water. I don't ever think he touched the water. But what other way would it look like to, put him back on that beach to make it look like he drowned? But for sure, I definitely had a theory like yours. These 2 therapists that I heard talking about this young man, it's all right. Something's wrong with him. She said, yeah, he did. What did Warren mean when he said he thought Nolan woke up? Go back and look at your interview. Where did they leave him at sleeping? Is that part 1, Cookie? Cookie said, what did he mean when he said, I thought Nolan woke up? That's a good one. Ask him why nobody would give up the keys to the parents. Absolutely. While shaking my head, he's a lame. His head, and then they threw him off the boat or brought him back and then took his body back. Okay. How many of y'all agree with what Sandra said and Sandra's theory? I think something happened on the boat. I think they was arguing about the girl and stuff like that. And ain't it coincidental that, was it just one argument on the beach or was it multiple? Because we haven't heard nothing about the one argument where we heard who allegedly is supposed to be Nolan, right? It's allegedly supposed to be Nolan that was arguing, and then Javon said, "Now that was Tristan," and now we have Warren's brother. Warren's brother who was fighting. I want to take it back to what he said. He said he don't know who pulled or whatever. So how do you know who was there? How do you know if it was Nolan pulling? You said you didn't know, but then said Nolan wasn't right there. So it can't be both. Because if I'm seeing each and everything, I don't know that person that was grabbing. You said you didn't know. You couldn't tell. You couldn't see. So how do you know who was right there? Again, it cannot be both. His head and then threw him off the boat, brought him back, and then took his body back. Sandra said yes. Someone in another video said Warren said when he found out Nolan passed, Warren allegedly said, I thought he woke up from that. Warren, you know you effed up. I had to put the little stars because I couldn't, have it in my title, but you know you effed up. Mm-hmm. I feel that his brother was fighting with Nolan. That's why he doesn't want to talk about it. Could be Shawana. That's a good one. Hey, Love Jones, what's going on? Yes. She said, yes, sis, you are correct. Did you look into the VPN to control that buffering? Honestly, it helps with the videos and sounds. I need to, Lady LeMay. Lady LeMay, hit me up and tell me how to do it. If y'all can drop my email for Lady LeMay in the chat, please. Just drop it, please. Sorry, I meant mean. I understood what you meant. I think Nolan was hit in the back of the head with something. I think he was hit in his head and strangled. That's why they kept his throat from the first autopsy. If they don't have the blood bone, they can't prove they strangled him. Absolutely. Katie said that a book bag got ketchup on it in a garage. Someone. What you mean, Tay Ebony? We need his throat and lungs to see if it was water in his lungs. She said, I agree. Nolan was hung. She said, I do. She said, I agree. She said, part 3. Okay, we're in part 3 right now, Cookie. It was a picture on the beach. That's possible too. Another reason why they kept his throat. This dude is not asking the right question. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Thank you, Cookie. He doesn't ask the right questions on purpose. Yes, I thought it was Nolan. They lied. Folks got scared. People drank. Yeah. What's going on, Pooh? I love you so much. Drop your link in the chat, Pooh. It's my girl, China Pooh, man. Big motherfucking China, not the little one, okay? Yeah, I thought it was Nolan that line. Folks got scared. Yeah, that's for sure. What's going on, Capricorn sis? Thank you for the cheers, the gems over there on no, the matures, the cheers over there on Twitch. I think he was hung too, and that's why he was sent without his throat, because that would tell it all. I don't give a damn. I never heard anybody say that a body was sent without a throat, regardless of me either, TT. That's a good one. That is definitely a good one. They forgot when you tell one lie, you got to tell. Absolutely, Lady LeMay. This is a hot mess. Cookie, I agree 100%. Fort Bayou Woods and walking trail is right by their house. I believe Horn Island was a misdirection. I agree, Thomas. I agree. I can agree with that. We need the first autopsy too. BJ, correct. And I think they drugged him. That's why. And that's crazy because, again, on the speaker box, y'all, he was like, my throat is burning. He said, fucking asshole. And he was like, did somebody give you something, Nolan? And it was just like, kind of like, But, he was like, my throat is burning. And can I send you something? Yeah, Cookie, sure. OMG, it's so nice to catch you live. Hey, Miss Hey, Tracy, what's going on? Hey, Yakaya, what's going on? She said, it's a book. She said, book bag got ketchup on it. Someone house. It might be from Nolan. Wow. I haven't seen that. And Yakaya, how you been? I ain't seen you in a while. I don't know. That's crazy. Let's get to this. Let's hear a little bit of this. I want to run it back for the people that's just coming in.
All right, so I want to be clear with this one thing, because I know you mentioned before. Is there any chance or any knowledge that you have that anybody deleted stuff from his phone?
Everybody was out there. Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. The rest of the group, which was ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's Tide Line.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time. And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely.
Right.
And explain that, because you guys got there around 10.
Yeah.
It's now 4:30,
right.
Where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So I looked up, I had a girl come up to me and say, hey, your brother just got in a fight. And obviously I have a younger brother.
Nolan's real mom, Katie Hudson, said Nolan took a picture with his brother on the island. Remember, we don't take phones in the water. Who's taking their phone in the water? Remember, that's what Warren said. But his mom said you and your brother took a picture on the island. And you said no parents was there, and your mother said that she was there maybe for like 10 minutes. So y'all drove way on that island. You mean to tell me on the 4th of July, y'all drove way to the island with thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and Wyatt said, what? It was 3 boats parked in front of my boat. You said he didn't own a boat, but he claimed the boat. Oh, I get it, Yakai. Praying for you. Hey, blessed by God. Do we not remember what Warren said? You got to go back to what Warren said. This ain't what I said. Warren said, yeah, it was 3 boats parked in front of my boat. He didn't say Bart's boat. He didn't say Wyatt's boat. So how did the mama, thank you, Kenyatta, for the flower. Thank you. Pyron Wyatt had a Facebook post. What did it say, Thomas? Now his brother, and remember the mother said Warren and his brother took a picture on the island. We took a picture. She mentioned that. It's on my YouTube page. So y'all can go see it. And don't forget to file Boogie Lowdown so y'all can go get the rest of the messages, okay? We're not going to see the mother say she was there for 10 minutes, but he said wasn't no parents there. I don't care if a parent was there for 5 minutes. A parent was there. A parent was there because she said she was. A parent had her phone on the island that Warren said nobody's taking their phone in the water. Warren, you know you fucked up, man. And Katie, we know what you did last summer. Okay, you're not off the hook, Katie. You're not off the hook. Because see, sometimes we got to beat them first. Sometimes we think because people cooperating that they telling the truth. You know how many people we have seen cooperate and be lying? Y'all know how many people we've seen looking for their dead loved ones knowing they're the ones that unalived them. And be out there with the search people and everything looking and all of that. Miss Parker, have you heard the entire 911 call about the boat sinking? It's interesting. I'll pull it up, Natty. Yeah, he's a psychopath. I believe that this family, everyone is not your friend. Listen to Warren. He said his buddy's name, then he switched it up. I'm just saying, BJ. Hey, something sweet. 2 men out there, Katie and Tristan Shepard, granddad. It is true. Katie's dad was allegedly out there. So tell us what happened last summer, okay? Hey, M. Renee, what's going on, love? Let's finish this.
I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody. Put my drink down and walked over there. And brother was kind of angry, and there was a lot going on. But someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, "Oh, I just got to."
Somebody was getting pulled away, but I don't know who it was. So how do you know if it was Nolan or not? You don't know who it was. Y'all drinking? Probably was drinking on the way, so y'all lit at this point. Right? Y'all don't think we're going to be on the boat drinking on the way? Hell, we drank starting going out the door. We taking shots. Betty shot o'clock and some more stuff. We drinking on the way. They ain't get to the island and start drinking. Who did the brother get into it? How many altercations happened on Horn Island? I said whore, baby. He knows. These boys need to go to prison. They were lit. Ask him who supplied the liquor. Okay? Ask the right questions. Yeah. He ain't, because it's incriminating the parent.
Fight, and this guy punched me in the face, and I punched him right back, and then went to the ground. And my brother put him in an armbar. And
was Nolan involved in any of this?
Absolutely not. When I was over there was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age, and
again, how many altercations? Yeah, I don't know. No, Nolan wasn't over there. You just said somebody got pulled away, but you don't know who it was. Yeah, it was a bunch. It wasn't nothing but a bunch of kids my brother's age. How you know? How you know they his brother's age? You said it was over 2,000 people. How we know how old everybody is on the island? Hey, pull up, sis. He definitely lying. What's he talking about? That's the clear video I seen. It was a black kid being pushed away, and it was a guy in U.S. shorts trying to fight. Okay, take one. Okay, I'm drinking right now, and it's National Tequila Day. I wonder, did they check the cameras at the dock? Because people was trying to say, well, no cameras out there. Nothing out there. It's just an island. But he showed a video of the camera, the boats being docked, didn't he? Too many stutters. I sent something to your email. Okay, Cookie Baby. Hey, Lisa Wilson. So everybody just on the island. We only heard of the one altercation. That was the young black boy supposed to be Nolan. Now it's Tristan. Someone going to jail for giving them kids alcohol. What time was Warren's boat supposedly sinking, taking on water? Was it sinking when Katie said he was going back? Absolutely laugh. Because Warren's mother said Wyatt's boat started taking on water. And they left at 5 o'clock, but the GPS said 4:30, and Judge Ashley said 3 o'clock. Judge Ashley said 3, the stepmother. The GPS tracking said 4:30, and Katie Hudson said 5 o'clock. Now, see, when it's the truth, it's going to stay consistent. The time is going to stay consistent. And then Katie Hudson said the boat got towed. When the tow people was called, they said you canceled it. And when Warren was ready to talk about the boat, Officer Tatum said, okay, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else. I don't want to stay right there. We want to hear about that. We want to hear about that from Warren, okay? Officer Tatum. That's why he didn't want to go to Don Lemons. They need somebody that's going to control the narrative their way. The owner of the boat council told, but Warren's real mother, Katie Hudson, said that it got told. Go look at a lowdown, Boogie Lowdown on Facebook and look at her messages. Not Judge Ashley, but on the call you couldn't hear any water at all. You didn't hear, it was just like a drunk, like, hey, yeah, my boat's it's taking on water. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're gonna send somebody out? Okay. Yeah, we'll just sit here. Yeah, we'll look at see if a couple of fish is coming up. Yeah. Okay, hopefully we don't sink like the Titanic, but yeah, we'll be here waiting on you. Wait a minute. What's going on, Kiki? Wait a minute. It was the calmest sinking boat. Call up who? Sinking boat. And we got the drowsy. Hello? Yeah. Hey. Our boat's sinking. Yeah. Just came from Horn Island. Boat's catching water. All right. You gonna send somebody out? Oh, okay. Yeah. No, we're just sitting on the deck. Everybody's here. Everybody's accounted for. So why didn't Nolan ain't the only one that didn't come back with you guys? What happened to the other 2 boats? What happened to the other 2 boats of people that went out there? Because I thought I thought Warren's mom said he's so responsible, he ain't leaving nobody behind. But that was Wyatt's boat. What happened to Bart and them? The buddy, Bart. Did Bart stay back too? What happened to the other 2 boats, y'all? I'll wait. See, y'all got to remember what y'all saying to the American people doing this. I wouldn't even call this ain't even an interview. This is a spin of narrative. He called Warren by name while they were in 31 feet of water because of the location he gave. Man, thank you, M. Renee, for the Uncle Alert. I think Nolan was on the sinking boat at the time of the emergency call, taking his last breath. If the boat is taking on water, why you go to another location for about an hour before you go? Come on, Latasha Jackson. Do it make sense? Where's the other 2 boats of friends? Did they stay back too? I thought your friends was Nolan's friends. So Bart and the other 2 boats, we got to mention the other 2 boats because Warren bought them up. So why couldn't Nolan catch a ride back with Bart and them? We thought he would catch a ride back with Bart and them because they stayed back. Because what made you get on the boat with Wyatt versus staying with Bart, who you rode with to the island? Warrant. Because that's what needs to be out, a warrant. I'm good, Tracy. Bart went with the rest of the Simpsons, okay? The other 2 boats left at 3. Ashley said they left at 3. Hey, Lalizy, my love. Those boys was at Fort Bio Woods and walking trail. They roped him on that walking trail.
But okay, sorry.
There's an issue with.
Sorry. He had a thing. What was I supposed to say next? Fuck, I forgot my line. I don't got no notes. I'll look suspicious. Okay, so let's go back. You was talking about, no, he wasn't. You was talking about the fight, fool. Y'all see how he lied? Thank you, Queen Butterfly. Hey, 90s baby, what's going on, baby? He said, well, we was talking about, no, you wasn't. You was talking about that fight. Y'all see how you lied, Officer Tatum? You wasn't talking about that boat just now. You was talking about his brother. And you asked him, was Nolan around that fight? You wasn't talking about no boat. We was talking about Horn Island in a fight. See, you quick to clip what everybody else is lying about, but got you. See, we're going to call it out. We're going to call it all out. We're not going to leave you out either. Okay? Thank you for the flower, Brittany. That's his brother, and Nolan was involved in. Hey, Miss Lady B. Say, man, you can't make it so. Listen to the lie, y'all. What he Gray said they was talking about.
The boat.
Okay, yeah.
And this is what
this led up to that. That's what I was saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, or a little scuffle. You know, I'm assuming that it was cleared up.
You're right.
And found out his boat is sinking.
Okay, so we're talking about your brother. He tried to throw that back in there. He had this like, y'all wasn't talking about the boat at that point. It was about the fight. We passed the boat. Fuck the boat. We talking about the island. What was going on the island once they got there? Ain't that what y'all want to know? What happened on the island? We sick of hearing about where everybody go to celebrate the fish in the water. We want to hear about the island. It seems like every black boy, but how many? I miss you too, love you too. I get it, baby, that your health been, feet shaking, looking very uncomfortable. Yeah. We was talking about the boat and, the little scuffle, and no little scuffle. We heard and seen a black boy saying, "Give me my phone," which we know was a black boy because Javon confirmed it. And Tristan said it was him. It wasn't Nolan. It was him. So either he was into it with Warren's brother, and was Nolan taking up for the black boy, and y'all got angry. Because you felt like Warren, did you feel like Nolan was supposed to be your best friend? Go best friend. And was Tristan getting the best of your brother? Because we ain't heard about two scuffles out that beach. Have y'all? I only heard about the one altercation. Now there's two altercations. But yeah, we ain't talking. Why ain't Officer Tatum asking him who said, "Give me my cell phone back"? Was he there for that fight, that argument? I'm just asking. After Warren told Nolan the boat was sinking, Nolan said, "Give my phone. I'm not getting on a sinking boat." That's a good theory.
Walk back over and like we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, you know, I wasn't thinking anything about it. I told my brother, I pulled my brother off the beach and I was just like, listen, get in the water.
It can't be both ways again, Warren. Hey, Melody, I told my brother, get in the water and calm down. But he was calm, though. So if he was calm, why you got to say calm down? See, I pay attention to everything because it can't be both ways. Yeah, I told my brother, just come in the water with us and calm down. Hell, if you fighting and arguing and people got to pull people away, you're not calm, baby. You're not calm when people's got to pull certain people away. That's why you told your brother he had to calm down, honey. But then you turned around and was a hypocrite and contradicting yourself and said, but he was calm. No, the fuck he wasn't. He was not. They sent the wrong person. See, Ashley, when you paid Officer Tatum to shine a bright light on your boys and the buddies, wasn't a good idea. Y'all moving too fast. That's why y'all fucking up. See, we as black people, we gonna strategize. And we know who to say something in front of and who not to in the group. Because we know who's gonna fuck it up. Or who wasn't really around. Why say something to them that wasn't really around, you know? So which one is it, Warren? What did you tell him to calm down or was he calm, baby? Officer Tatum, my legs shaking worse than mine when my anxiety's messing with me, baby. And y'all see how Uncle Ruckus is paying, Officer Tatum is breaking this down into 13 minutes, 20 minutes, 14 minutes. You sure making good money off of Nolan's name for to be calling his mama a liar. What y'all think? You gonna call me a liar off my dead son, but you using my dead son for you and Becky with the good hair. To support you and Becky with the good hair financially. Okay? Listen, Linda, listen. You better say it. Okay, Lady Mysterious? What's going on, sister? Uncle Ruckus bought and paid for by the clear folks. Absolutely, Lashina. Yeah, she messed up getting him to, yeah, too soon. Too soon. And why so many arguments on the island? But Candy, come on. He's talking about his brother. We never knew his brother was arguing with nobody. Because he said it was just kids his age. So 2,000 people on the island per him. You said it was 1,000. Warren said 1,000. And Officer Tatum said 2,000. Then Warren said 30 people went. And he said 8 was on this boat, 8 was on this boat, and about 16 of us was on this boat. That's 31. Then Officer Tatum broke it down and said 20. We're just going to go with 20. Then Officer Tatum said people said it was 4 people on the island the whole time. Nobody ever said that. Right. Where's Katie? Listen, Harriet Tubman couldn't save all the ancestors, okay? How did Warren's brother get to the island? The mama said Warren and the brother took a picture on the island, not the water. She said the island. He said, who would take, and Warren said, who would take their phone in saltwater? Your mama, your mammy? Per her. Per the mammy. Hey, Latoya. Hey, Key. Per the mammy said, but we wasn't there but for 10 minutes. But Warren said wasn't no parents there. Your mammy said she was there, Warren. See, Officer Tatum maybe should have went and looked at the statements that they put out before he just let this boy run that narrative. And before Officer Tatum tried to spin that narrative. Because what he wants to do is make everybody look at Ben Crumb bad. This ain't about Ben Crumb, baby. This ain't got shit to do with Ben. Ben just an attorney that was hired. We talking about the boys and the deleted messages and what happened on that island. And what happened to Nolan Wells. And why they wouldn't give that boy's daddy his keys. And why they was acting so suspicious. Hello? Hey, Spec K. I'm just asking. I mean, he want to clear the boys up, but the shit that need to be cleared up ain't clearing. The check ain't cleared. The check is bouncing like a motherfucker. I must say, the check that you trying to motherfucking cash, Officer Tatum, it's bouncing like a motherfucker. I'm sorry. I ain't sugarcoating shit over here. Sorry. It's just how I talk. And I'm going to get right to it. He's trying to blame everything on Bent. Bent ain't got nothing to do with this and what happened on Horn Island. He was just hired. Okay? This is how you know that a narrative is being spun by Officer Tatum and everything he put his hands on. This happened before Bent got involved, Tatum. Why did they get lawyered up the next day, Tatum? The boy hadn't even been found dead and they lawyered up, Tatum. But those questions ain't being asked. Because they didn't know that they're not psychic. To know that anybody would look at them suspicious. I mean, because hell, Sheriff John, one of the characters. Look at my notes. Sheriff John said he drowned. And that's what we're trying to figure out too. Why Sheriff John don't want to rush the investigation. He rushed to say that the boy drowned. Stacy's good racist ass is in her taking all the black people's hearts and organs and shit and keeping the bare minimum of it so it can come back. The secondary autopsies can come back, undetectable and some more shit. Y'all good racist ass, y'all good Mississippi burning asses down there. Stop it. Cut it out. I ain't going. And I don't want y'all to agree with me. I ain't going. Thank you, Spec K, for the sparkles. That's just it and that's all. I'm not here to try to push y'all my narrative on y'all or nothing. It's just what it is. It's what they showed us. These ain't speculations. Am I lying? I've been to Biloxi, Thomas. My mama lived in Biloxi. Am I lying? Ain't this what they saying? Ain't this what we all seeing? Ain't this what the stepmom and the mama wrote out statements on papers? Ms. Parker, I sent you an interview and Officer Tatum called Nolan's mother, in lack of better words, money hungry. The interview said, you really want to go there right now. Okay, well, I'll go in there right now. I'll get it.
Once I got back over the boat, I got on the Triton and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom. And, no water's coming out, no access water's coming out. And, it was a big issue because I think the reason was because of crowd and there was just a lot of people on, so that it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time we were out there for a couple hours. The starboard side hatch and the
he fixed the boat. I think I seen that cookie where he said Nolan's mama, so she didn't unalive her son though. And that mother got every right to come out here like any mother and father could and should be able to say, what happened to my child? Stacy doesn't even have credentials to be a medical exam. She only has a high school diploma. It's a damn shame what's about to happen to Stacy, ain't it? I'm just saying, hey, Chelsea. He had to think of what to say. Those questions will not be asked. Absolutely. And you can also hit the Cash App if you want to feel free to donate to me and get a super sticker, super chat, and join the membership. You know what I'm saying? This ain't going to be the only case that we cover. I'm going to be talking about Kendrick Johnson as well. I'm going to be interviewing somebody for Kendrick Johnson's case and new updates with that, okay? I'm just saying, what did the DA say? Yeah, that too. Shank Rock covered that earlier about what the DA said. So I want you guys to go over there because I didn't get to that part. But go over there, check out Shank Rock. Drop Shank Rock's link. He talked about that earlier, and it's very interesting what the DA said. BJ, they're trying to cover it up, baby. They are trying to cover this up. This has got too much worldwide attention and fast. Throughout the whole interview, he was thinking what to say. Hey, Black Warriors, what's going on? It's not adding up. Warren wasn't a friend of Nolan's. That's something that the parents would have known. Let me play this real quick. This was a good point to what you're saying. I want you guys to hear this. It's coming from yours truly, Don Lemon. And then I'll get back into this interview because there's so much to unpack. Okay? Listen to what Don had to say.
McCormick, and the son of St. Mysterious Girl, Nolan Wells talked to on Island moments before vanishing, identified as her sister,
yes,
should be comma, as her sister disputes friend's story. So all of these friends that are out there, that's why we've been telling you guys to be leery of these so-called friends, right? Yeah, to be leery of these friends. I love having a studio audience. But we've been telling you guys to be leery of these so-called friends who, I never met his mom, I've never been to his house, and say, oh, you're his best friend? For real, for real? I'm not so sure about that because my parents know my best friends and my good friends.
Whoa now, Don Lemon. Because my mother knew my best friends too. My mother knew my best friends too. Especially somebody I call brother or sister. My mama knew. They've been to our house and I've been to theirs. My mom knows their mom. But go ahead, Don.
Not yours. And not only that, when we think about it, not only let's take that down just for a second, Andy.
Yeah,
thank you, have my good friends since I have been growing up, and not only have they come to my home, my parents have gone to their homes. Right? My parents have gone to their homes. So you can't tell me somebody's a good friend and you don't know the parents. And especially,
he don't even know his mama. He don't even know Nolan's mama. And remember, he said we met in 8th grade. Then he said we grew up together. No. Can't be both. See, Warren, you keep putting out two different aspects in it. Your 1 + 1 ain't adding up to 2. Your stories are zero. They're not making sense. Question is, where's Nolan's black friends? If he had any, they would let me see what you said. Where'd your comment go? They would know him a little better. He had black friends over. See, the real friends was over there with the mama every day. The real friends, y'all, was over there with the mama every day since he went missing. The black ones. There was no Warren. There was no Wyatt Earp. You didn't see Judge Ashley. Katie, we didn't even see you. They even trying to bring up the fact that his mama's Chinese. What see, this is what do her race got to do with what happened to her son? If y'all ain't covering up nothing. Money hungry how? Because you're using her son, Officer Tatum, for you and Becky with the good hair. So aren't you the money hungry? I mean, hell, you already got paid by the clear people. Warren's mama, stepmama, and all of them. It ain't making sense. Dr. Stacey Turner serves as the chief medical examiner of the state of Mississippi, and is the official who performed the state-led autopsy on 8. Yeah. But go ahead, Don.
Now, if you're like 18, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, who are you on that phone with? Oh, okay, such and such. Can I come over? Or such and such wants to spend the night? Or we want to play video games? Let me call Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Williams. Hey, this is Don Lemon's mom. How you doing? They're talking to them, want to have it. People in hangover. Just want to check with you to make sure. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing great. Just in here cooking dinner. I don't know about y'all, but that's how my parents were back then. I don't know if parents are like that now. I mean, it wasn't like some, Barbara, this is Shirley stuff.
Okay.
Although that could have happened in a different thing. But that's how people were. So, again, I don't know about this. Be leery of who these friends are. Okay, so this woman, according to the Sun, thank you, Andy, for doing that, has been identified as Katie McCormick, okay? For days, she was the mystery girl. And when you don't know about something, we don't know who somebody is, like people create their own versions of who they think that person is. What does she look like? What is it, right? And create your own version in your head. The internet did what the internet always does. The internet gonna do what it do, right? It filled in the blanks about who Katie McCormick is before we even knew her last name. People sort of built timelines about it and what happened, what was it like? I'm going to stay with this girl, whatever, stay with me, whatever. All this stuff you're building in your head. They invented motives. They decided who was telling the truth and who wasn't telling the truth. Now, we know a little bit more now. So according to the reporting today, this is from the Sun, as I said, Katie's sister says that Katie believed Nolan was leaving the island with the friends that he came with. Well,
did you know Katie or did you believe? Because we need a timeline on Katie's whereabouts too. See, Katie, we know what your ass did last summer. You not off the hook. Just because you said it don't make it true. Okay? Because they said that everybody don't know who Katie is, but they know it's Katie McCormick. Well, hell, how y'all know it's Katie McCormick? Was she the only Katie on the island of 1,000 or 2,000 people? They don't know her, but they know her name and all of that. They don't know her, but they knew to call Ava's house. You seen Nolan? We still looking for somebody that want to stay on the island that told us. My homegirl said she's staying with Durrell, but I'm calling. You seen Rachel? Which one is it? Did he tell y'all he was staying on the island or y'all just didn't know where he was? Can't be both. Hey, Flow State. Thank you for the Flow State, honey. Sorry.
friends who, there were more people, hundreds of people, so he's my best friend, but I didn't spend that much time with him, never been to his house. That changes things.
Y'all heard what Don Lemon said. That was what Warren said.
Because for the last week, one of the biggest assumptions has been that Nolan stayed behind because he wanted to spend more time with this Katie. So if Katie believed that he was leaving, then what happened? So I'm not accusing anybody of anything. It's a question that millions of people are asking right now, is identifying.
Thank you, Don. We appreciate you. I always appreciate Don Lemon's questions. That's why they didn't go over there.
Completely underwater. And so the motor wouldn't trim down. I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it'd trim down, and then it'd come right back up. And so trying to throw our anchor, so we're caught, and he's, young people, everybody's kind of freaking out. And,
What? Let me try to get that 911 call. He said everybody was freaking out. Hold on. Because I didn't hear freaking out. I didn't hear freaking out on that phone call. Let me see.
Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Florence, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Angles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water?
We're sinking. What'd you say? Panic? Wait a minute. Let me take it back. Panic.
We're at the west tip of Florence, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Angles?
What'd you say?
Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down there.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number.
Now, I ain't never seen a boat to sink and get back up and running. How much are you sinking? How much water's on the boat? I don't know. We're just a sinking. Warren, come here. Where's the panic? Y'all, where's the panic? Can you come? We have a membership. Oh, okay.
Phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed.
I don't know if it's under Jerry Atkinson, but I do know we have a membership guaranteed. Is that a panic? I mean, maybe they panic different. I don't know. Is there a panic? No, check Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany Cummings. It might be under that. I just know we have a gold membership there. Sound like he ordered pizza from Domino's.
All right, unless you have a membership number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at
All right, and is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How many? All right, do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right.
But y'all sinking. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He said they was panicking. We're sinking. We want all the help. I don't give a damn if y'all want to call Donald Trump in his private jet. Come get us. Hell yeah. Just off, I don't know how high the water is. Sounds like a damn lie. How can how you on the boat but don't know how high? Is it past your ankles? Is it up to your knees? Thank you, Honey Houston, for the donation. I mean, Honey Houston, I'm with you. What? Officer Tatum, come here. That's what I said about you, Warren. They sent the wrong motherfucker. They sent the wrong person to interview. You ever sent the wrong person to try to hook you up? You know what I'm saying? And that motherfucker walk past you, and I'm saying, you like, bitch, what you say? Nothing. I just went over and I told him that, you know, you thought it was cute. But that ain't what that ain't what we rehearsed. That ain't what we rehearsed, bitch. I sent the wrong bitch. Have they left the shore of the island at this point? I don't hear panic. They playing games. What's going on, Terry? I heard pretend on this call. They use the membership as an alibi, in my opinion, because it's free. Just cancel an alibi. Yeah. Yes, honey. Hold on, y'all.
Right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Want me to go,
Did y'all hear what she
If not, I
said?
can send you a text message.
Did y'all hear what she said? She said, do you have y'all coordinates?
All right, you ready?
Listen, y'all.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Want me to go,
If he was on Horn Island, he wouldn't have to go look at the coordinates. Because he could have said, we're on Horn Island, meaning they wasn't on Horn Island. Warren, bring your ass here. Why y'all got to look at the coordinates when all y'all was on Horn Island from what you're telling Tatum? This call ain't adding up to what you're saying. Do y'all know y'all coordinates? Because he wouldn't have to go look for the coordinates if he didn't know right off. We're on Horn Island. Am I correct? I mean, tell me when I'm wrong. She just asked for the coordinates. Means where's the location? Why do you have to look for the coordinates when you're right there on Horn Island? Right, so they're not on the island. Absolutely, laugh. Absolutely. I'm going off the 911 call. I'm just asking questions like everybody else. These entitled idiots make me sick. They were jealous of Nolan. They went crazy on him. In my opinion, it's so sad. Yeah, them YT boys probably had them GPS nautical devices on their boat. But Black Warriors, why couldn't they say they're on Horn Island? Is my question. I'm going to wait because I really want to know this. Because he said they were still on the island. Is what Warren just told Tatum. But Tatum's the same one who keeps calling out Nolan's mama's lies and Ben Crump's lies, but we catching Nolan in so many. So when you're going to address the lies, Officer Tatum, if you're really a good person and you're being unbiased and you didn't get paid by the YTs, call it all out. Oh, I forgot. You getting paid off of Nolan's name, you know. You getting paid to bash his family and Ben Crump. But I appreciate it because the storytelling is amazing. I'm just saying, Black Warriors, this is beautiful to me. Hey, Nisha. Let's finish listening.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North, all right, you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm available.
North, Block, 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHS?
Yeah, what? Y'all called her. Y'all said y'all was sinking, so she's trying to help y'all. He said, yeah, what?
Yes,
on
we were
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yeah.
All right. Is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
If we were sinking, yes.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of
Why did he say Horn Island from the beginning? She had to come up with it like, so you're on Horn Island? Yes, we're on Horn Island. Why didn't he say that from the beginning? Because he didn't know the coordinates. So you said it. I'll give you that, Wyatt. You said y'all was on Horn Island. The call wasn't panicked, though. See, I'm going to correct when I'm wrong. But it doesn't matter that he said they was panicking, okay? Let's get back to the panic.
You know, calm down. Like, you know, the boat could possibly sink, you know, and I'm not paying attention.
So you're is getting up to the point where
He's saying to Warren, because when he said he's asking him, so you're up to the point where the boat's going to be disabled, okay?
able to where you couldn't get it out
Correct.
from Horn
Correct.
Island. So what happens after that?
Wyatt jumps to the water, tries to throw a rear anchor, and my buddy Meyer, you're sitting looking, trying to pull trash out the bilge. And the bilge is basically a pump that pulls the access water out the boat. So the bilge was failing to work. So any excess water was just sitting in the boat. It wasn't getting pumped out. And I looked over the gunnel and I looked at the release hole for the bilge, and it was even with the water. So, I mean, we're all freaking out. All of our, you know, we're not focused on anything else other than the boat. Well, then eventually my buddy Bart on the tide line is like, I'm going to pull y'all out to where we're out of all this, you know, all this chaos. Cause we left at 4:30 and there were still just people. And when we,
How did he find the three boats that was blocking him in, though? Because remember he said in the first interview that it was 3 boats that was blocking him in. It was 3 boats in front of him. But yet he said that Bart was pulling them out of the water. They left at 4:30, but Ashley said 3 o'clock. Make sure y'all note that. Stepmom said 3.
there, I mean, probably around the same amount. I mean, it was crazy. Like there was a lot of people. And, I mean, eventually Bart pulls us out. You know, we left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out, and we had the towing strap pulled from, you know, Bart's port starboard side bow. And so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned around, pulled up next to our boat, and Wyatt was like, you know, calls him, because the cell service stuff might not descend, and like, I mean, it's not great. You know, you got maybe one bar, it won't work that well. But once you get a little off the island, you have cell coverage. And even on the island, like I called mom when we were on the island, you know, it was fine.
I called my mom when he was on the island. Your mom was there. His mama was there. This interview's rehearsed. Tatum is MAGA, the lies. Right, and the palm boat left before them. Officer Tatum is the ways. Y'all look up Sean Outdoors at Fort Bayou Woods and Walking Trail. It's a must-see. A quarter of a mile out, so that means y'all was still on land. So at this time, Katie is with Nolan, or is Nolan with them? What time are they being told? They said the tow company was called and said they canceled it. But the mama said that Wyatt's boat got towed.
You know, enough cell coverage to make a phone call or shoot a text over, but you don't have enough cell coverage like send a picture, for example. So what?
So I want to go back.
Yeah,
so because were people taking their phones off the boat, or is that not typical? Because I know that Nolan's phone was left on the boat,
Right.
Thank you.
even though, after you guys had left. So can you explain that? Because I think people need to understand this a little clearer.
Yeah.
Was it typical for people to have their phones left on boats, or did they keep their phones in the water?
Yeah. I mean, everyone goes away from phones and anything else. I know I go away from, the regular world. And no, when you're waist deep in water, no one's carrying their phone in their hand, especially around the water has been very, very murky because of the rain. And when you
I want to cast solo. There are no editors. I create high.
it's just very risky. If you're gonna have your phone in the water, some people might for a couple minutes and like maybe taking some pictures of each other. I know a lot of girls like to take pictures in the water at Horn Island.
Either you're taking your phones in the water or you don't. I would just say some people do, some people don't. I don't. He said nobody's taking their phones in the water. Then he contradicts himself and say, some people, the girls take. So you can't say that people don't take their phones in the water. Just say you don't. I wouldn't recommend it, but people do. He just said people ain't taking their phones. But the girls did. His mama did. Because she said they took a picture. Note that.
Guys do too, like people like to take pictures, and but a lot of the pictures you see are on the boat for a reason. And so no, they're using it real quick and then putting it right back. We were all waist deep, and I've never seen that once, and I've been out the Highland my whole life. I mean, that's just not something people do. People aren't on their phones, and everybody has their phone, yes, but it's always on the boat. No one can on their phone.
So you guys get ready to leave out of there, getting towed out.
What'd he say? What did he just say? Y'all getting towed out? He said, yes. Wait a minute. He said, so y'all getting towed out. Officer Taylor. The toll people said the toll was canceled. Now, which one is it, y'all? It can't be both. So the toll people lying because they ain't got no reason to lie. The toll people has no reason to lie. Lab said, I thought the toll was canceled. My phone stayed with me. I wouldn't leave it on no damn boat. Don't speak for others. Others, liar warned. I bet Nolan's phone has footage. That's why they took it. Absolutely, Spec. Did it get told, Tatum? Thank you. We thank you, Officer Tatum, for this. Because the toll people said they canceled it. Why is he even giving this 12-page confusion? He ain't Usher Raymond. My. And they wonder why everybody's upset. They wonder why Nancy Grace is going in so hard. Grandpa canceled the toll. Okay, Natty. But what did he just say? Y'all heard what Tatum said. Y'all heard what Tatum said. Just going off what they said. But the toll company, I guess they lied. Not Warren. Not Tatum. Ben Crump, who's the hired attorney, is the liar. Nolan's mom and dad are the liars, but they want us to see Warren them as the truth tellers. Somebody make it make sense. Help me out with this one.
Nolan was the last time I saw Nolan was 3:00, and Nolan, Katie, Katie, and Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, "Dude, you crazy?" I was like just joking with him, and but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they. It's a very common thing at Horn Island when you're out there. A lot of people ride out there with someone and in with someone. It's a very common thing, but
do y'all notice how every time? Now pay attention. Do y'all notice how anytime? Because this is about Nolan and what happened to Nolan. But do y'all hear that every time something comes up, he brings up everybody. Everybody goes out there to celebrate. Everybody goes out there to fish, and we're not talking about everybody. We're talking about what happened on the 4th with you guys. That's it. That's all. This is part 3, Cookie. This is part 3. I'm just saying. Why is it? And yeah, everybody catches a ride with somebody else. We're not talking about everybody else and what everybody else did. We're specifically on the 4th of July. We're talking about Nolan Wells and what happened. Okay? I'm just saying, can we stay right there? When they lie, they turn be red. I'm just saying.
and my buddy yelled at yelled for Nolan, get it.
He don't want to say his name because it's Wyatt. Because I keep telling y'all asses, pay attention to Wyatt. Wyatt, did you like Katie? Because why he say Javon and James, but he keeps referring to Wyatt as my buddy. That's to keep Wyatt's name out of it. But it's already there. Because your mother said in her statement over there on Low Down Boogies, she messaged him and said, Wyatt kept telling Nolan to get on the boat. So why do you keep referring to Wyatt as your buddy instead of saying, and Wyatt asked him, huh? Absolutely, Spec K. Exactly. He switched up a lot. Yeah. Why he looked like Freddy Krueger. Yep. He like, because, now we know who my buddy is.
The boat's having issues, and like, no, he didn't say that. He was panicking. Nolan. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride it with somebody. Like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island.
I thought you said the last time you laid eyes on Nolan, he was cuddling Katie. And you looked at him and said, you crazy. You said it's the last time. You can't be both ways, Warren. You said the last time that you laid eyes on Nolan and seen Nolan, he had Katie wrapped up in his arms. And you looked at him and said, boy, you crazy. Now, you see, why you telling, because nobody I came with is going to be left. Nobody that came with us is going to be left on the island. And my buddy kept telling him, wait, I thought you said the last time you seen him, you didn't see him when your buddy was telling him to come on. Last time you said you seen him, he was cuddling Katie, and you said, boy, you crazy. See, you got to pay attention to everything. Now he telling on himself now. LL Warren was hating on Nolan because she chose Nolan. Mm-hmm. Oh, Murray had a little lamb. Chose the horse. She chose the horse. They ain't like it. Now he's seen them when Wyatt. Now, which one is it? Because you think in court they're not going to say, so did you see him the last time you said you seen him? Because they're going to use this interview of what you said, Warren. You know that, right? And that the attorney's going to say, so you said the last time you seen him, he was coddling Katie. Now you're saying that you're seeing Wyatt repeatedly, and Wyatt wasn't panicking. Why you say that? Why he throw it up? Wyatt wasn't panic. Why would Wyatt panic? Saying, man, come on. Shouldn't be no panic. Y'all just telling them to come on. Does it make sense? Do you panic when you tell your homegirl, girl, come on? Well, what's the panic? I'm just asking. You know, I'm going off what he's saying.
And like he said, you know,
How many people heard that? Were there just,
at least
just a
5
few, or?
to, I mean, everyone that was on our boat right there, because the Palm Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and went home on the beach and 3 way back. And Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and with somebody else. So, and that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do. You know, I mean, a lot of people do that. I could name probably 50 people out there that day that ran out with somebody and ran back in with somebody else. So, I mean, it's not like it's an uncommon thing, but left her, or my friend just left him there, told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie.
My friends ask him multiple. He's letting them know, my friends ask him multiple times to get on that boat. He was more worried about the boat than his friend Nolan. And who says the exact time? People don't recall it. Come on. Everybody's phone is on the boat, Black Warriors. Huh? He said, and who says the exact time? People don't really exact times. They normally say approximately 3. Warren probably rehearsed it. Absolutely. Absolutely. What time was the 911 call? I can't wait for that to come out. What time was that 911 call? We need that. His mammy should have drilled him on the couch a little more before this performance. Absolutely.
Had text somebody that she heard people yelling
Correct.
for Nolan to get on it. Is that true?
And I was nice texting Katie, you know.
Y'all said y'all didn't know Katie to Nolan's mama. Now Katie texting and they texting Katie. If you don't know me, how you gonna text me? If y'all don't know me, how do y'all text me? I'm just asking. He on the next day. We still on the 4th. Katie didn't say to the police that she heard them telling Nolan to get on the boat. She said Nolan told her he's going to go back on the boat and leave out with his friends. Ain't that what Katie said? Did Katie say to the police and Ben Crumb them that she heard them calling Nolan's name to get on the boat? Anybody? I'm just asking about Katie. And listen what he said. He said, yeah, the next day. Nah. Because y'all said y'all called his mama that night and asked her how she seen Nolan. Anybody or somebody, did they not say they called they why he say the next day? Because the mama said when they got back to the house, they realized that he was missing. But I thought again that I said, why would they think he was missing when they said that he said he wanted to stay back behind with Katie? Somebody got to make this story is not adding up. Because per Ashley, she said the boat broke down. And when the boys got to the house, they realized that Nolan wasn't there. And my question has always been, how the fuck is that possible when the boys and keep saying, and you even said, you contradicted yourself. Actually, you said that Nolan was persistent, that he wanted to stay with Katie on the island. So why the fuck are y'all looking for him at the house when y'all knew where he was? Oh, Katie real. Anybody? I'm just going off what he's saying. Let me take it back a little bit so y'all can hear, because he don't went to the next day. We don't skip a whole few hours.
Oh, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had text somebody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melody.
That she heard people yelling.
Correct.
Yeah,
And I said.
So if you have a picture of that, that means Katie gave a false statement. If you got a picture of that, Katie, you gave a false statement. Thank you for the flowers. Black Warrior said that YT boy Warren gets heated every time Katie brought up. Y'all got to make the story make sense. Don't that mean that Katie gave a false statement? Because that means that, because Katie said, Warren, she said, Nolan wasn't with me. Nolan said that he was going back on the boat with his friends. I don't know. Let me write that down. Is that part of that's a new character? Kyber? I mean, Murray J. I'm asking. So, Katie, why the fuck you lying? Because Warren said you text the homeboy, the buddy. And they got a message of you texting the buddy. Saying, I heard y'all calling Nolan. I'm just saying, Caesar. What's up, fam? They thought they had no reception with their cell phones on the island, yet they called from their cell phone when the boat took the water. What's going on, Payday? Payday, did you pay attention to this story, Payday? I'm going to take it back for you, Payday. And I'm going to drop the link. Because Payday's been covering this. Drop Payday's link, or Payday, drop your link. Because Payday's been covering Nolan's case as well and doing great at it. I just be at work when you cover it, Payday, but great coverage. And she's also covering the Mo 3 trial for anybody that's interested in that. So check that out. I dropped the link. Listen what he said about Katie one more time.
Made a decision to stay on the island after my friends asked him multiple times and told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had people yelling
Correct.
for Nolan to get on it. Is that true?
And I heard that. She texted my buddy, and the next day everybody was panicking, and everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, this is the last time I saw him. He's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat. And she was right there to see that Nolan decided not to.
Yeah. So
you got to turn on your camera, Miss Cookie, to at least let me see you, baby. You don't have to turn your camera on the panel, but thank you, Black Warriors. Thank you. What's going on, Cookie? You're on mute. Your phone is on mute, Miss Cookie. Yeah, you can come back. I'm just wondering. Yes, he said, Katie said, yeah, the last time I seen him, your buddies was saying, come on, get on the boat. Thank you, Mary J. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Wait till the grand jury work this. Erica said, what? Just saying.
Guys get in the boat, you start to get towed in, and you make it back. Now explain how did you get to the point where you
When did I get to that point?
You guys had mentioned Nolan needed to get on boat. He didn't. Yeah. You guys get back to wherever you're going.
Right.
Explain that. Did you and then when did you feel like, well, wait a minute, where's Nolan?
Okay. Well, running in, Nolan on, so my focus wasn't on anything else. I think I does, but once we kind of got out there, because he got the bug, and
wait. Wait. Wouldn't the tow people do that? He got it unplugged and he got it unplugged. Where he get it unplugged at? Where you get the boat? Wait a minute. Hold. Wait a minute. So when the boat got towed, because we don't skip past the boat getting towed, and how y'all get to the house? Why are we skipping past parts? Hey, Stephanie. Why didn't they make him get on the boat, especially when they're saying he had been drinking? None of them were Nolan's friends. We came together. We leave together. Hey, Precious. I bet it's something on that boat. It's not making sense. Yeah, he finally plugged the boat and he got it trimmed up. It's a lot of pieces. We all over the place. When y'all got to the house, y'all started working on the boat. Like, why you didn't say, well, whose boat, once the boat got towed, whose boat did you get on? How did y'all get back to the house? What happened when we got to the house? We need to know every detail, every step of the way. Emergency distress call came in at 4:30 on the 4th. He was reported missing at 11:30 p.m. through the radio transmission. How do they know he's missing? Because when you get your bitch, you might want to stay with the bitch. You're doing 2 or 3 things strange. And how do y'all determine that he's missing? Instead of calling his mama saying, hey, Miss Woo, we went to the island and stuff, and Nolan decided to stay with a girl named Katie, and we haven't heard from him yet. We was just wondering if you heard him. They reported missing at 11:30, but he said they didn't call. They didn't even know if he was still with. They didn't even know if he was still with Katie because Katie called the next day saying, "Nah, I ain't seen him." Payday.
Hey, Miss Parker.
How you feel about this part 3? Because baby, it ain't adding up.
It was a bunch of inconsistencies. Okay, so for him to spend a lot of time trying to convince us that nobody had their cell phone on them because of the water, and then later tell us he talked to his mom while he was on the island. But you want us to believe that what, you were the only one who had your cell phone? Nobody else had their cell phone. Like he spent a bunch of time trying to convince us, why people don't have their cell phones, only to tell us that he contacted his parents on Horn Island. Another thing that was inconsistent, either
You breaking up, Payday, and I'm interested. Drop her link, moderators. Drop Payday's link. Let me drop the link again. Because Payday's making some great points. And Payday, we can't forget that he said that the girls was taking pictures in the water with their cell phone, but then he said nobody takes their phone in the water where waist deep. But the girls did. Speak for yourself. You're speaking for everybody. But yet you turn around and said the girls had their phone, but it was quick. They took a quick picture. See what I'm saying? They still had their phone in the water. We don't give a damn if it was quick or not. They had their phones in the water, something you said they just don't do. I was typing a long ass comments like how they already, come on. How they know he missing if he was with, honey, I can't. And I ain't dumbing myself down. No, Cookie, come on up, baby. Come back. Just in the back when you're in the back, not on the stage, Cookie. When you're on the panel, turn your camera off before you even hit the panel. I just want to make sure it's somebody. But now you're letting me know it's you, Cookie. Come up. I'll drop the link again. I'm just asking. According to all them, Katie included, they all saw him not get on the boat after yelling for him to get on the boat. They knew Nolan was not on that boat when they left it out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Minnie. Y'all drop my girl Miss Minnie coupons. You guys, when I say she has saved me some dollars, man, going to these stores and couponing, you guys, I mean, talking about blankets for $2 and stuff like that. And shout out to you, Miss Minnie, and thank you so much for the flower. I love you, girl. I was typing that long ass comment. She said, my girl. Hold on, Payday. All right, Payday, here we go.
okay, girl, I'm sorry. That was my 17-year-old calling, girl. She knocked my audio out. But so yeah, either he's lying or Katie's lying, because he told us that Nolan had Katie cradled in his arms when they was yelling to Nolan to get on the bus, right? I mean, to get on the boat, right? And
No, he
that
said, wait a minute, Payday. He said the last time he saw Nolan, the last time he laid his eyes, remember he said he was cradling Katie in his arms, and he said he looked up and said, boy, you crazy. I didn't see him no more after that. Go ahead.
But then he later said that Katie was sitting there when Wyatt called to him for him to get on the boat, right? So if Katie was sitting there, why would she be under the impression that he was getting on the boat with his friends if she heard him tell them that he wasn't getting on the boat? So either y'all are lying or Katie is lying. One of the two. The other thing that I was confused about was the boat's GPS, right? Why, once they were told back to the original dock, then they left the dock, went to Fort Bayou, and then they claimed they went back to the original dock, but they only went to Fort Bayou to hook the cable up for the Blige pump, right? But then they went back to the original dock, but only to go back to Fort Bayou to hook it up to a car. So I don't understand the extra trips. If y'all were already going to Fort Bayou to hook the boat up to a car, why did y'all go back to the original dock? Like, none of that makes sense. None of that movement makes sense. So I feel as though they were possibly hiding something then. Um, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, the other thing was, um, Officer Tatum, y'all made it y'all business to travel all the way to Horn Island.
Hmm.
Officer Tatum had to leave Fort Worth, Texas, to go to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, then get on a boat to travel to Horn Island, and didn't put the receipt of Katie's text message on the screen. I
Hmm.
just felt like you could have presented the receipt way easier than taking this whole trip to Horn Island. Like, that could have cleared up so much. You saying that he's saying that he has the screenshot, he has the receipt. Why we can't see the receipt? Then did you hear what the DA had to say yesterday?
I missed it, Payday. Please enlighten me. I missed it.
So the DA said that they're going to present their autopsy to the grand jury. So instead of, like, publicly, you know what I'm saying, letting us know, no, they want to run it by the grand jury first and then put it out publicly. That was kind of strange to me.
It's very strange. And I was telling them Shank Rock covered that, but you have covered it too. So I need y'all to drop Payday's link and Shank Rock's link. And please follow these content creators, because they go, for those that have nothing to do in the early morning, they're going live, they're presenting this information. Payday, what's the secret? Because we ain't never seen nothing like this with the DA saying we're not presenting anything. We're keeping all our stuff secret.
Hmm.
We're not showing you guys anything. And what's
It's
the secret?
just, it's, listen, corruption, money. At the end of the day, these kids' parents have money and they're legally tied. You know what I mean? Because, okay, a lawyer, okay, one of the parents is a lawyer, one of the parents is a doctor, the other parent, stepmom, is a judge. So all of them are tied to law enforcement, except for the doctor, right? But then the doctor, I'm pretty sure, still has money. Okay, so in my opinion, it's just corruption and money being spread around. They're doing their best to cover it up, to hide certain facts. If you're not hiding nothing, why would you have to present it to the grand jury before? Just, I mean, because if it is what it is, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, just put it out. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think about Officer Tatum, Payday, and his part in this? Do you feel like he's on board to try to paint the boys to be Boy Scouts? Because that's what people's perception was to me. He's trying to paint these boys to be a star in the sky, Boy Scouts, to make these boys look good. Do you think he was paid off?
absolutely, absolutely. Even the title, um, Nolan Will's best friend Warren tells the truth. You know what I mean? Like, it with emphasis on the truth, as if everything else we've heard is lies, and we should rely solely upon what Warren is telling us today. And
Do you notice that
his story is inconsistent.
yeah. And have you noticed that Officer Tatum's pointing out any and everything? Like, he's blaming it on Ben Crump. Like, yeah, everything Ben Crump gets his hands on, but this ain't a Ben Crump situation. Payday.
No, no,
He's
it's
just a
not.
hired civil rights attorney.
That's it. He's
And
just supposed to. I'm listening. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I agree with you 100%. Why didn't Warren present that text message to? Because you say Warren, the best friend's here to tell the truth, so we're gonna put out the information. Like, Katie, you texted Warren, and we want to post this.
And then how all of a sudden did they go from not knowing Katie, nobody knows Katie, to Katie texting one of his friends the next day? Like, it's just so many inconsistencies. But like I said, that could have been easily presented. If you're saying you have a screenshot, I'm pretty sure your phone is right there by you. Pull up the screenshot, even if they would have put the camera on the screenshot for us to see. It was no work put behind it. But like I said, y'all traveled all the way to go to Horn Island to show us absolutely nothing.
I didn't understand it. I didn't
Yeah,
get it because Payday. Do you think? And before we get to Aunt Natty, do you think? Because I don't think nothing happened on the island.
I don't think so either. I think it was way too many eyes, way too many witnesses. So I think that somebody would have seen something. That would have been way, way too many people to pay off. Now I do feel like their friend group, even the ones that probably weren't on the boat with them, still know what happened. You know what I mean? But I don't think it happened on Horn Island. I most definitely think they placed his body back there. They have a hard time explaining to me that his body washed up ashore in the same spot that y'all been looking in for 2 entire days. On top of that, it was two groups of people that camped out on Horn Island that night with tents. They didn't see anything.
Mm.
So, and then the movement of the boat was weird. Like I said, all that traveling, you claim something was wrong with the Blige Point pump, but then you still made it all the way to Fort Bayou to plug in the Blige pump. Like, why did y'all have to go there to do it? He couldn't have done it at the original dock. Like, all of it is just confusing.
Hey Rose, and Payday. One more thing. I
Mm-hmm.
thought the tow people said it didn't get towed. They canceled it. But Tatum said, and y'all got the boat towed. He said yes.
So I hadn't heard that the tow company said they didn't tow it. I thought that that's why they were showing the GPS data from the boat, because it was towed in, because it gave a specific time and everything. So, girl, listen, we still have way more questions than we have answers. And this is how many days later? This is going to be going on a month. And we really don't know much past what we've known since the body was found. We don't really too much know anymore. It's
Payday, do you
insane.
think he's going to receive justice, or do you think that this is another case that's going to be swept under the rug?
I'm 50-50 on it. A part of me wants to believe that it won't get swept under the rug because Ben Crump is gonna make a lot of noise about it. His parents won't let it go. The feds are involved. But then the other side of me feels like anything is possible with a little money and status. You know what I mean? So, and it's just still a little black boy in their eyes. Um, and they're obviously not giving it priority. Even with the sheriff coming out saying it was obviously an accidental drowning without knowing anything. Like, it's so many different factors. Like, all of them are even coming out like corrupt in their answers and their movement. So that side of, like, that part of me, like, doesn't have much hope for it. So I'm kind of like 50-50. But I pray and I pray and I hope that he definitely gets justice.
And we have Judge Ashley Cole said they left at 3. The GPS says 4:30. His
Yep.
real mother said 5.
Yep. Yep.
The
It's exactly. So
inconsistencies with the
it's
time.
the inconsistencies. It's so many inconsistencies, and they're not clearing them up. Like, this interview only gave us more questions. It gave us more inconsistencies. And you could tell that it was rehearsed. You could tell when he started to slip up in his answer. You could tell when he questioned whether he should use the wording that he was about to use when it came to why you're telling Nolan to get on the boat, and then him starting to stutter. Um and then, like, even in the first part of the interview, he was asked a simple question and he didn't answer it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Tatum said, you told me a story behind the scenes. What do you tell me about Nolan? He never answered the question. And Officer Tatum never made him go back and answer the question. So the whole interview is given rehearsed. It's given that these are the things that they wanted to tell us and wanted us to hear coming from his friend.
And one more thing, and Annette, I'm gonna let you come in. One more thing, Payday. Officer Tatum asked him about this fight, And he was like, oh yeah, my brother. But yet we have Javon saying that Tristan had an altercation. It was Tristan said, give me my phone. How many y'all? We only heard about that altercation. We didn't know, and he didn't ask about that altercation. He never said in this video that they're saying is Nolan saying, give me my phone. It wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? It just went, yeah, it was an altercation. We never heard nothing about the brother. Because Javon knows them. He would have known Warren's brother was into an altercation. Correct?
Right. Now, yes. Now, but I will be honest. They have said that it was multiple altercations on the beach that day.
Okay.
But we did not know about all of them. We didn't know whether Nolan was involved in any of them. So now we know about two for sure. Then I saw a video of an older white guy with tattoos everywhere. He was having an altercation with someone as well. I don't know if he was involved in those two or what, but with him telling the story, I wonder if Warren's brother and Nolan got into it. I don't know. Like, it's something amiss in this whole little situation. And
Because when we
yeah,
ask about that specific, because they're saying that's Nolan. So when we stick to that argument, when we point that argument out versus Warren's brother got in a fight, you get what I'm saying? It ain't adding up. Because it's
it's
been
not.
speculated that it was Nolan's voice saying, give me my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just more inconsistencies and more questions, honestly. But yeah, like I wonder if that fight was between Warren's brother and Nolan.
I asked that too. Aunt Nettie, come in.
Hey, Miss Parker, hi, Payday. Do you remember when they
Hey.
first brought Katie up? They said Nolan was talking to Katie on the beach. They never mentioned he was snuggled up with Katie. That only came up during the interview. They didn't know Katie, but now they texting Katie. The grandfather, two of those boats, the 18-footer and the 22 Triton that Nolan was on, belonged to Wyatt's grandfather. He had two boats out there. When they called and tried to use granddaddy's membership, granddaddy called the captain and told him, ain't nothing wrong with them. They don't need you. And if we need you, I'll call you back. They forgot to tell grandpa the plan.
Mm,
That's how the tow got
mm.
canceled. When that lady called, if you listen to the entire call, the dispatcher called the captain and had him on hold. And she was telling the captain, when she started telling him, he said, wait a minute. You say 22 Triton? He said, okay, I just talked to Mr. Jerry. He said, wasn't nothing wrong with them boys' boat. And if he needed, if anything happened, he'll call.
How do
When
you feel
they
about
when they
how do you
asked
feel
about
about
who was on the boat,
mm-hmm.
he said everybody at first. She said, are there any children on the boat? He said no. She said, any adults? He said, nobody over 21. She said, that's not what I asked you. I asked you how many. He said 7. He was calling Warren name, and then he told somebody, what you doing jumping in that water? They weren't panicking. They sound like they was having fun.
I honestly think Wyatt had more to do with everything than that's being led on. Wyatt, in my opinion, is the culprit behind everything. This
Yes.
Wyatt character.
Miss Parker, you remember yesterday after we listened to that interview, I told you they sent Warren out there to cover for Wyatt.
You
Didn't I
did.
tell you that yesterday?
And you notice Payday and Miss Natty how we just now found out through the third interview who my buddy was, because he said my buddy kept asking him. He will not say Wyatt's name. He will not say Wyatt's name to save his soul. But he had said
And
Javon. He said James. And then when he said my buddy kept asking him, he didn't panic though. Whoever said he panicked? What would you panic about saying, Payday, come on, bitch? Like, girl, come on. Where's their
We
panic
gotta
enough?
go. Right. Right.
and my point, it goes back to If you thought he stayed on the island with Katie, why would you call the Coast Guard at 11 o'clock and report him missing? There's no reason to. And
None.
I'm like, payday. That fight was between Nolan and Wyatt. And Wyatt got mad because Katie didn't want him and wanted her some Mr. Chocolate.
Okay. I
Because when
definitely
he said, I
I,
asked him, are you crazy? Because he knew Wyatt was looking at her.
this is crazy. This Officer Tatum got paid to do a job that is reverse. Is just so reversal. Hey, Miss Catherine, what's going on? What's going on, Miss Catherine? Come back, Miss Catherine. Your connection, love.
And you know what else?
Go
I
ahead on
want
that.
hey, I want Tatum to do a 7 part. Because the more Warren talk, the more we catch him up in his lies. And if Ben Crump ain't got these interviews, I want somebody to send them to him expeditiously.
Oh, you know they did. Oh, you know they did. They did that.
Yep. And somebody, I didn't get to look at it yet because I had a full day. They say that somebody was sending Christine death threats when the funeral was going on.
What?
It just went on my timeline. I couldn't stop and look at it because I had a full day. But I'm like,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
and
ahead.
the thing said, if you don't stop investigating, something gonna happen.
Mm.
So why you
Mm.
want her to stop?
Cause they know, Aunt Natty. I mean, we all listening to the same thing. Hey, Tanya.
I have hope he gonna get justice. Cause Carlos Moore keeping his foot on their doggone neck, baby.
Hey, Miss Catherine. What's going on, love? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, Miss Parker. First, hi, Miss Parker. Hi to the other lady on the panel.
I
Hi, I just wanted to say something real quick. Is it okay?
Yeah.
When I was listening to this story about this young man, the saddest thing is to go out with a bunch of people who you think are your friends and they're not,
Mm.
because he's not the first person that has done this. Shanquella Robinson also she paid for people to go on a trip with her
Hey, Donna.
and and did not come back. So
exactly.
it's sad when you think that somebody is in your corner. In this case, right here with Nolan, and they weren't. Because when the young man was talking, Wyatt, when he was talking to Officer Tatum, why do you have his phone? I mean, why do you have his phone? Because you having his phone means that he can't reach out, and that to me seems like, was there some type of physical attack? And then talk about how he had his neck. When I heard the autopsy, the lady explained that earlier, that it didn't make sense. That's all I can say.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Ain't none of it making sense, Catherine. None of it. Like, and the more he's doing these interviews, I'm with Payday, and make sure y'all follow Payday, and make sure y'all follow Shank Rock. Okay, they're covering this. Go get both of their perspectives and stuff like that. They both broke down what the DA had to say and so much more. So check them out, because I'm really just. That's why when Payday said the DA, Shank Rock told me a little bit about it, and then Payday laid it on me. So I'm still listening and trying to catch up with everything. Hudson Hobbs. Who is Hudson Hobbs freestyle? Hudson Hobbs said, freestyle said, that video that's going around with Nolan laying down on the beach is Hudson Hobbs in the video and Matthew. Who is Hudson Hobbs and Matthew? Big Rose said, Payday, you was on your ish yesterday. I saw the playback. You called out some major stuff. So y'all make sure y'all check out Payday. Okay. Thank you so much for the flower, JS. I appreciate you.
But can I
And
ask you a question, Miss Parker?
go ahead.
So the thing that got me about them being on a boat, right? was
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't see any life jackets and I didn't see a raft.
Mm.
For anybody that's going out on the water, I did not see any life jackets and I didn't see a raft. If you're saying that y'all constantly go out on the water, because that's what Wyatt said when he was talking to Officer Tatum. So y'all don't believe that y'all should have, if y'all are on a private yacht, a private yacht is different than you going on a cruise. On a cruise, the crew is trained. CPR, waters, they're trained. But on a yacht, it's smaller, it's more intimate. And so I didn't see any life jackets. I didn't see any raft. I didn't see anything that would save. They if here's the whole thing. If they did have it, they didn't show it.
Mm-hmm.
Miss
It's
Catherine.
gonna be strange that all of y'all will be on a boat. Uh-huh.
If you listen to that
Yes.
911 call, the dispatcher asked them, are you wearing life jackets or do you have any available? Now, remember, we in 31 feet of water in my boat, right? My boat is sinking, right? Oh,
Right.
we got them available. Not we got them on.
It's
We got
okay.
them available.
Being on a yacht, a yacht is a, if anybody on here has ever been on a cruise they are required by law to have a certain amount of life jackets for the hundreds of people that are going to be on there. If it was the Odyssey might have would have had 5,000 people on it because it might be the biggest boat. Okay. On a yacht probably only has 6 people on it, so you should have 6 life jackets. So y'all had them, but didn't have it on, and you didn't have a raft. It just sounds like they do this all the time. Go out into the water and don't put a life jacket on. That's what it sounded like.
Mm.
But
And
but
who
my thing,
who and why ain't nobody checking the ages of the kids to see who bought the liquor? Cause you know the
they
oldest on
say
the
it was a
boat.
grown up drive. They say it was an adult on that boat. I heard her. But if my boat is sinking, if it's 31 feet of water in my boat and my boat is sinking and I got life jackets, I'm going to have them on. They not just going to be laying around on the boat. He said, we have them available. She said, I asked that you have them on. He said, I got them available.
How do y'all feel about this? Urkel Sutton said not to go. Why didn't Nolan go with them the morning to get the boat? My answer, they were plotting. Cause y'all remember how in the first video he was like, yeah, we went to breakfast. No, I mean, I went to breakfast. I went to McDonald's. So who's we?
Him and his
Who?
buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Because first he said it. He said, me and my buddy went to breakfast. Nolan didn't go. I mean, I went to McDonald's. And then when I came back, the boat was hooked up to my truck. And I went to my house and the boat was hooked up to my
Yeah, he
truck.
showed yeah,
He
he
called
showed did.
himself.
He showed
That's
did.
what he
He
said.
showed did. He showed did.
I
He
be
sure did.
taking notes like you, Miss Parker. Be on it. Because I
As
want
for
attention.
Regina said he stated that they all had life jackets, so why would there be a drowning? Hmm.
When she
So
said
if
that,
they all had, I'm sorry, go ahead.
he said they had them on the boat, but he never said they had them on. That lady
So
had
Miss
to
Parker,
ask him several times, several questions. And he got smart with the dispatch.
He did. He was like, say what? It ain't no panicking to me. You know what I'm
He was.
saying? And then when she asked for the coordinates, and he was like, I don't know. Hold on. Instead of just saying, we on Horn Island. You know what I'm saying? It took her to say, oh, you're on Horn Island? Yeah, we're on Horn Island. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't know the coordinates. Say you on Horn Island. You feel me?
so were they operating a boat without a captain? Was somebody that didn't have a license to be on the water? Because you can't just operate a boat, just like you can't just operate a plane. You have to have licenses to do that. You can't just go out on a, because somebody has to be responsible. So were they operating that boat without a responsible person? Somebody who's operating the boat has to have a license.
As
Like
a
it's like
captain.
Yeah, no, you it's like a plane. It can be a Cessna, but who's ever operating a Cessna still must have a license. So are they saying that they all were on there and nobody had a license to operate the boat? Because you and I can't just go buy a boat and get on the water. You have to be trained to operate a boat because there are certain things about operating it. That's why he didn't know what the coordinates was. Pay attention to the question. He didn't know what the coordinates was because he shouldn't have been operating the boat.
And they was drinking.
Right.
Come on.
And
It's the
underage
same as
drinking.
driving a motor vehicle behind the wheel. You get what I'm saying? Why ain't none of this coming into play? Payday said it was him and Wyatt. Absolutely, Payday. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
So
Absolutely.
his stepmom is a judge, right?
Yeah.
And his father is a toxicologist. They said that earlier on.
Uh-huh.
I think they were talking about that. So when you are in that type of position, you have pull. So what it looks like is, I mean, when they started talking about they did
Right.
this, how they were doing this investigation, I don't know at this point because it didn't sound too well earlier. It didn't sound well at all.
Let's talk about this. What
First,
Payday said. And Tanya, they said the DA said they're not releasing the autopsy or anything, so we won't know until
so
being. She said he spent the night at Wyatt's house, but called Burton for a ride on his boat. I said he was distancing himself, Payday. I said that the other day to my people. I said, pay attention. It seems as if one was distancing himself. So you went. So your best friend, because you notice, pay attention to the word, y'all. Yeah, my friends accepted. So y'all wasn't all friends. My friends let him come in our start, like they accepted him and stuff. And then he said, yeah, we went to breakfast. I mean, well, Nolan didn't go with me, but then, yeah, I went over to my buddy's house and stayed, with Nolan over there. So come on, like it was like you could just tell he was distancing himself. And my buddy Bart came into town. So why couldn't Nolan ride with you and your buddy Bart? Did Bart not like Nolan? Did Bart not like black people?
but
So
what I found to be strange was he's saying that there was problems with the boat. Well, here's the whole thing. That's why boats and planes must be operated by somebody that has a boating license and somebody that has a pilot license for a plane. So if you're saying that there were problems with the boat, then why did you leave? He said earlier with Officer Tatum that he was leaving Nolan, but you're leaving him without a phone. Leaving somebody without a phone on an island, what did you think was going to happen? Because that whole interview with Officer Tatum did not make any type of sense at all. None.
And like
it's just
Laugh said he didn't even have the right radio to make an emergency call.
sure didn't because the dispatcher
Hmm.
asked it.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. If y'all caught that Warren said, yeah, it was too many. If you got too many people, it ain't safety. They weren't following no safety guidelines at all. Cause how big is the boat and how many people supposed to be on that boat?
Now the boat that they had trouble was a 22-foot Triton, and it was also a 18-footer boat. Both of them belonged to Wyatt's grandpa, and I,
But
I don't know about.
how many people is allowed on it? Like how many? It's the same as any kind of vehicle. How many passengers can get on it? Because he
I,
was like, yeah, it was too many people. Warren said it was too many people on the boat.
that's when it was taking in water.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I don't know how many people can get. I'm not a boater, so I don't know. But I know two of them boats. He kept saying three boats went out. Two of them belong to Wyatt's grandpa, the 22-footer and the 18-footer.
But when you go to purchase a boat, a yacht, right? When you go to purchase a yacht, they tell you the capacity of how many people can be on. If it was six, if it was 10, if it was 12, because the size of the yacht, when you go to purchase it, they'll say, listen, you can't have over a certain amount of people because it will cause a safety risk. So
Absolutely.
he was saying that there was issues with the boat, that the boat was having some type of mechanical problems. Okay, so if the boat was having some mechanical problems, did you know that before you took the boat out? Because a licensed person is supposed to checked the boat before. That's how I know that nobody that had a license was operating that boat, because they would have checked that beforehand,
Absolutely.
not
Let
after.
me read this, Catherine. She said, "Mama, can you replay the first coordinate? It wasn't close to the second coordinate he gave. He paused like he was being told to say certain things or was distracted. It absolutely you know, I peeped that. The numbers, if y'all go back and listen, because remember she said, you went out, I can't hear you. And you can hear the numbers. The numbers didn't match up with what he said at first. It definitely didn't. It definitely didn't.
Somebody said that I was lying, that he didn't say nothing about them life jackets and about them people on that boat. If you play that 911 call all the way through, she asks him about life jackets. She talks to the captain. In fact, a reputable, I heard it earlier today. And you follow this lady, so you know she be on her stuff, Miss Parker. Queen
I'm gonna
Sheba
go.
got the whole call.
I definitely follow Queen Sheba. I can drop Queen Sheba's link in the chat. I'm gonna go check Queen Sheba's out. I haven't been over there in a few probably about a week, so to check our commentary. But shout out to Queen Sheba for covering it too and stuff. I definitely need to go over there and listen to that because I'm interested now. They're gonna blame everything on Javon. He needs to get a lawyer. They're putting everything on Katie right now, you know. But this the thing, y'all, we gotta remember, Catherine and Aunt Natty. If you know I'm staying on the beach, Catherine and Aunt Natty, why are y'all calling me missing? Why are
I
y'all calling
wouldn't.
me missing?
If we went out to the club and Miss Parker say, I ain't going home with you, Ned. I'm gonna stay here with Miss Catherine. You sure you gonna stay? Come on now, Miss Parker. I'm making you go. I'm calling you now. Remember that what they did, right? Get in the car, Miss Parker. No, I'm gonna stay here with me. I'll put it better. I'm gonna stay here with Shane. Get in the car, Miss Parker. So when I get home, you told me you was with Shane. I'm gonna go to bed. I ain't calling the police at 11 o'clock and say, I need to put out a missing person report on my friend. Because you told me you was staying back with Shane. If his mother, if it wasn't, see, they had a routine. Nolan and Christine had a routine. She said when he would go places, even out on the boat, when he get back, he would text her, we back. Or he would call her. She didn't get that. She knew someone right. So she called Javon's mama and said, "Are the boys home?" I haven't heard from Nolan. She said one of them was
But
with
the
his
strange thing,
girlfriend.
but the strange thing about how they responded when I listened to Wyatt on that panel was, if your friend said that he wanted to stay back, why do you have his phone? Because an island is not like you walk into the corner store. I mean, you walk
Thank
to the
you.
corner store and your phone go out, they might let you use it. But you took his phone and you knew he was on an island? Okay, all right.
And they said first they said you wasn't no reception out there, but they sure called 911 for that alibi call, didn't they?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Thomas
strange.
said, Thomas said, has anyone talked about the Fort Bayou Woods and walking trail around those white boys' houses? Why
Ah.
give us what you think happened, Thomas? Because you keep mentioning Fort Bayou, the trail. So what do you want us to what do you like? Give me what you think happened on this trail by this house. Because again, y'all, I don't think it happened on the island. I'm gonna just be honest.
I see where he coming from. When they took him to that bayou, that trail. I'm sure that trail. I told you yesterday I thought he was either strangled or hung. Did I not, Miss Parker? Because
Stay
they
right there,
kept the
on
net.
that. Stay right there. Hold on. This is what Black Warrior said. He said Warren told Tatum his brother or friend was fighting and put someone in an arm lock. So someone could have choked Nolan out. That explains the missing throat structure. He did kind of say he had him in the. He did say, well, he didn't kind of. He said he had him in
He
the arm.
said it.
Can y'all hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Catherine. Come back.
Ooh.
She said, Black Warriors, I said the same thing. They had words. Someone choked and he fell back, hit his head, and fell over. They left him because he immediately went underwater. I said that he something happened on that boat.
If you remember, he said, Tatum asked him something, and he said when he heard that Nolan had passed, he said, I thought he woke up in one of them
Woke up from
interviews.
what? But woke up from what if he wasn't
That,
with y'all?
why would you think? Where was he sleeping?
Hmm.
Let him.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
my mother's people, they didn't want to call the Coast Guard for the sinking ship, but they called the Coast Guard uh for the to report him missing. Make it make sense. Didn't call his mama to report him missing. You know what I'm saying?
Uncle Ruckus keep on doing interviews. Interview some more of them. Give them
Mm-hmm.
enough rope to hang themselves. Give them enough rope. And Carlos Moore gonna keep his feet on Mississippi neck. And he said it. He said, "Oh, you know, I know the system. I know how y'all work."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's a relationship between that judge, who stepmammy, and that DA.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm
Judge,
not talking about just
Judge Ashley Joe
professional.
is still a judge, and they might have to go, and they might want to win a case. Come on, what you gonna
I,
do? Are you gonna go against the judge and you white? Shh.
I'm not talking about just professional, Miss Parker. When they get through, it's
Mm,
something else. It's something else. They tied up in something else. Like, and first of all, since everybody, the day is not the first day I done heard it. Since everybody's saying Stacy just got a high school diploma, we need to find out who in Mississippi we need to contact. Why are you a medical examiner and you ain't been to medical school? You ain't in medical college.
mm, mm. At all. At all.
Come on now.
Point, cause of death undetermined, not drowned. Jamie said point because of the death undetermined and not drowned.
Well, Dr. Mitchell say, why the sheriff say there was no foul play. When Dr. Mitchell looked at the body, he said you can't rule out foul play. So I'm gonna go with Dr. Mitchell.
James said, question is who's going to prosecute those boys in Mississippi? Absolutely.
Well, if they get a good attorney, they can request it to go to another county at least.
I would.
I would talk about his mother being a judge, the stepmama, the bias in that county, how they
Absolutely.
botched the case. Baby, I ain't even no attorney, and I know how I would get that moved. So have the FBI really started investigating the case? Or they still investigating the threats against the judge and her 6 children?
Absolutely. But Jamie, remember, hey Cookie, Jamie, remember, they said you could turn your camera off, Cookie. Just turn your camera off and try to come back. You was connected, try to come back. But Jamie, listen to what Jamie said. You telling me he stayed and his friends never said Katie gave him a ride back. They just said he was staying back, and if that's your best friend. Cause listen, they never said Nolan. They said Nolan said he's staying with Katie. Didn't know what they said, Natty?
Yes, ma'am.
But then they turn around and say Nolan said he was riding back with somebody else. Which one is it?
He said both of them. And Katie has talked to Ben Crump and the police. If I'm correct, I may be wrong. And she said he told her he had to go back. He was going back with the friends he came with. And I believe Katie over these lying suckers.
Thomas said Horn Island was a distraction. They said, even Ashley said, Nolan rode back with somebody with other people. How do y'all know if y'all didn't see him no more? And y'all said, and Warren even said the last time he laid eyes on him, he was cuddling Katie. And he said, I looked at him and said, boy, you crazy. And he said, my buddy kept telling him, come on, come on. He said he's staying with Katie. Where did y'all get he was riding back with somebody else?
They didn't. That's another lie they made up to cover their tracks.
It is TT. Hey, Cookie, what's going on?
Hey, Miss Parker, how you doing?
I'm good, love. Welcome.
Okay, I'm going to say this right here, and I hope I hope the chat do not go off on me for this right here. But it's imperative that before we, like, for example, before you make a statement, you come with facts. How I know that you come with facts because if I don't understand something you're saying, I will go myself and go out, research, and then come back to ensure that what you're saying is factual, right? So, like, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Dr. Stacy, somebody said that she has a diploma. No, Dr. Stacy has a doctorate. The Dr. Stacy is a doctor. So she has the, even though what I think that a lot of stuff she's doing is just blatantly wrong, but she has the credentials to do the job. It's just that when it comes to a child that looks like me and looks like you, it's not getting the same attention as if it was somebody of another color, clear or whatever. So he's not getting that type of attention. But she has the credentials to do the job. It's just that it's not being done effectively, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. So, so to not confuse people, it is imperative that we make sure that we're putting out factual information because I'm listening and I'm hearing fact information that is not factual being put out. Like a prime example, we talked about the FBI being a part of Nolan's case. The FBI is not addressing the situation with Nolan. The FBI was dressing as Mr. As Donald, not Donald Trump, but as
Ashley.
Mr. Trump stated, he's addressing the situation with Ashley
Ashley
and
being threatened.
her being threatened. So
Let's
it's
go.
not, so let me tell you, it's imperative that we again state facts. Another thing, I heard, I heard someone say it about, and in your comments, they're talking about the body parts being missing. See, this is the thing right here. And I can say at one point in my life, I can admit to this right here. I can hear one thing, but I interpret it as something else. But
Yeah.
when I hear it, I need to interpret it as it is, not what I think it is. So when they talk about that body parts were removed, or they talk about body parts were withheld. Missing and withheld is totally two different things, right? So it's imperative that you use the words correctly first and foremost. Then, second of all, we have to understand that with Dr. Stacy and Attorney Crump stated this right here, withholding the body parts is something that they normally do. Now, in our mind, we're thinking that no, if why didn't you just give all the body parts and everything to the second guy that was doing the autopsy, right? Because in our mind, we thinking that it's right to do that, but people saying she going to jail because she will hold the body, withheld the body parts and stuff. She's not going to jail because what y'all got to understand, and I'm not trying to be funny, but when you're dealing with people like them, they're going to do everything to the last minute. And if they can play around with it, they know how to play around with the time. We may not know how to do it, but see, they know how to play around with their time. They know how to say, okay, well, if they have to go to court, well, I needed more time. And guess what? It's gonna be that right there is gonna be acceptable. You know what I'm saying? They know the game. They know how to manipulate. We just learning how to manipulate the game and get into it and everything. But they've been doing this for years. That's how we got to where we at right now. They've been manipulating us all our life. So all I'm saying is for our people, black people, just make sure that comprehension is a mug. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're comprehending and you're understanding what they're saying. So when you're able to, that's how they get us. Because when it's time for us to translate, we translate what we think, not the actual facts of what they said. And
And I
I
agree
hope the
with you.
cat don't get on me.
No, ain't nothing to get upset about because for real, I've done it. I've done that and speculated and misinterpreted and
Yeah, me
put out
too.
unfactual information. I own that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Because listening and reading is fundamental. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But
And
withheld and missing is the same thing, basically.
not the
I
same.
know you said withheld,
No,
but if it was
no.
not in there with the rest of that body, it was missing from where it should be. It was another renowned medical examiner on Nancy Grace. He said, yes, it is common sometimes to keep the stomach, parts of the stomach and parts of the lung. He said, but keeping the inside of the neck is not a common practice at all. And
Okay,
he
but
said,
listen now. Hold up now.
let
But
me,
listen,
I'll
let's
let
go.
you
Okay,
finish.
okay, okay,
He
okay.
said he know why Mississippi is holding it because they are concerned about a strangulation or a
Hmm.
choking. And he even
Hmm.
gave each part that was missing. He told
Hmm.
what it would show or what it
Hmm.
would not show.
Let me ask this question really quick before you respond, Miss Cookie. Wanda stating something that I said. Remember, she has been questionable before with Black Boys reports. So it makes for me it wasn't it's not common that they said it's common that they hold things and things like that. But it's
Uh-huh.
the questionable about all of these cases. Trey Reed being so recent and a prime example, Miss Cookie, that she
Okay.
gives the same reports on multiple black men.
Okay, so let me say this right here. First and foremost, right? We should never detour and go off and believe what someone else said. That's one of the issues right there. Stick with the facts. If the second autopsy, the doctor that did the second autopsy, if he states in there that that is common for the throat for them to withhold it, right? It's not missing, it's just been withheld because they could be doing further research. Now, I hear what they saying. Do I agree with it? I don't agree with it because I
Right.
felt like that it
Come back,
should have went.
Taquan.
I felt like that it should have traveled with Nolan. That's how I feel. But then
Yes.
I have to go back and understand my feelings of what I think is not really important. It's the facts because my feeling is not really a fact. It's just how I feel. But the fact of
Yes.
the matter is that it's not like it's supposed to went with Nolan because they could have said that, you know what, even though if you look when attorney Crump was going through the autopsy, he didn't state this, right? But it could have been that they was doing further research. That's the reason why they kept it. Now, do I agree with that part? No, I do not. But I'm just saying they could say anything to cover their butts. But do I believe it was something more than just further research? Yeah, I believe that they're covering up something. That's what I believe. But my belief is not a fact, right? So I
Yes.
have to, but so before I go off and detour, I got to look at the fact that yeah, they may could have kept the throat or whatever the parts of the body is until they do further research. So do it make sense? It's like sometimes we can know something is wrong, but just because it's wrong in our eyes, that doesn't make it wrong per the law or per how they the procedure of the autopsy, if that makes sense. Because I
Yeah.
feel like that everything should have went with Nolan, so he could have got a third exam, and we may would have had a cause of death. But that's not the case. Now we will not know the cause of death until they go in front of the grand jury. So at the end of the day, this whole situation is messy.
It is. Let me ask y'all this. Let me read this. Yusef said, and then Taquan, you can come in. She said, "Hello, Miss Parker and everyone. Where were the police that patrols the water, especially by it being a holiday weekend, knowing that these young adults frequent the island? Why was there no police patrolling?"
That's a good
Good
question.
question.
It is. It's a very good question. Taquan, come in. What's your thoughts?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering a couple different things that I heard. It's like when I watch different videos and takes on things and I'm trying to put it together. So it's like we heard that there was a group of black kids on one boat and they was being harassed by other kids that was on the other boat, and in the dispatch call you'll also hear a call come in that there's a group of kids on a boat being harassed by another boat. And then you see a video where you see, the heavier set, white guy arguing with another kid on the island, which is a black kid. It was almost like after a certain time and, the sun started going down, was there a big whole black lynching going on over there? And then also with the call, he said that there was seven of them that went on the boat. And he said it during the interview. If Nolan stayed behind and the boat started to go off and then they called for help, he said there was 8 of them on the boat. So I'm like, okay, 7 minus Nolan makes 6. So who's the 2 extra people that jumped on this boat?
Well, if you
That's
when you get that whole 911 call for the tow, when they
Oh, it'll
asked
blow
him
you.
when he finally tell them how many is on the boat, he says 7 or 8. But she have to ask him several times because she say, "Are there any children?" He say, "No." She say, "How many adults?" He say, "Nobody." She say, "Nobody's on the boat." Yeah, somebody on the boat. Nobody over 21. She say, "That's not what I asked you. How many people are on the boat?" I'm not going by what somebody told me. I heard the call.
Yeah, I heard the call too. Just like he said that there was no adults on the boat, but there's actual surveillance footage showing that those boats being docked with adults getting on the boats, and in the background you'll see that pool, and which almost looked like the same pool that's in the picture that's been going around.
Yeah.
the
Yep.
Don said, as far as the body parts, do y'all think they will fix them and then hand them over? I asked the same thing.
I don't even know if they have to be his because they can still do DNA on the body parts. I was nervous they might try to switch body parts.
I said it too.
I think they're gonna.
I
Oh, I'm
said
sorry,
that
Miss
too. I
Parker.
said I hope Big Crumb does a DNA test. Let them do a DNA test. I said that too on Natty. I swear I thought the same thing. And I said I hope he gets a DNA test. I hope he's smart enough
Mhm.
to get a DNA test. For that.
I think they're gonna hang on to him like they did the body, hang on to him too long to where they can't get nothing out of him.
Yeah.
Now I can see what you're saying. I agree with that. I think also that they may do that, but they're going to have to turn them over because the second autopsy is not complete yet. So the autopsy can't be completed until they turn the body parts over. So eventually they're going to have to turn them over. Now what they look like once they turn them over and what can he do
Mhm.
with them is going to be the issue because like I said, and I say again, this right here is this is sad. But then I feel like this too. We need more parents like Nolan's mother. And the reason why
Amen.
I say that, and I say that, and because I'm an educator also, and I say that because she's not laying down and saying, okay, well, I'm gonna accept this right here. No, what is next? Okay, what when it came to she knew that she wasn't going to get justice, she went and they sacrificed to get the right people, and because they sacrificed to get the right people, they just was blessed to get people that came in and stated that they want to help and donate or whatever so forth. But we need more mothers and fathers like them that just don't stop. Just you keep on going, you keep on going. It's gonna get tiresome, it's gonna be heavy, you're gonna get tired, but keep on going. We have to have more people like that. That's the only way that some of this stuff is going to stop happening because guess what? we have the endurance to say, you know what, I'm not going to stop until I see change being made.
Yep. Yep. And that's it. You said that, Miss Cookie. You said that. And that's a fact. I said that the other day, Miss Cookie. I said we have to start standing on principle, morals, and values. We have to stop taking that blood money. You know what I'm saying? That's why all the cases keep getting swept
Hmm.
under the rug.
Hmm.
They come with them settlements and you know what I'm saying, want to pay you off and all of that. And word to justice. Ain't none cause
Hmm.
I mean it's swept under they done got paid. It's on to the next.
Yeah,
To
and
the
then
next
once you're
black
broke,
woman.
and then once you're broke, you realize, okay, I didn't even get justice, but I'm broke now. So then you're angry with yourself because guess what? You took this $3.4 million, but at the same time, you did not receive justice for your child or whatever the case may be. And and I'm gonna say something, and I hope your chat do not get mad with me. But I see how everybody's advocating, and we're putting forth so much effort, and we're going so hard. We need this same effort and these same black people to go hard when it comes to the educational system for our children. We need you to show up. We need you to show out. We need you to be down there saying, you know what, our babies can't read. Our babies can't do this. Our babies can't do that. We need that same type of action that I'm seeing right now. We need that same type of action when it comes to educational
I agree.
arena. We
I
need that
agree.
because we do not have that. So then you got to think about it. If we don't have that, a lot of our kids are lacking. So guess what? We're gonna have a lot. God forbid, but we're gonna have some more of these Nolan Wells cases because guess what? Who's going to advocate? Who's going to be Miss Wells? I'm gonna just say Miss Wells. I know her other name, but who's going to be a her to say, you know what, I'm not going to stop. We need more people we need more black people to advocate. We need more black people to open their mouths and fight for what's right. People talking about being Crump and he can't read and he can't this and he can't that. But look at this right here. If we didn't have a Bill Crump, I'm sorry, a Ben Crump, or we didn't have an Al Sharpton, who would we have? Who's gonna come to the front line? Which one of us? Now I know I would, but I'm just saying,
Shane
which
Crop
one of
definitely
us
pointed
gonna?
that out
Which
yesterday.
one? Yeah, exactly. Which one of us gonna come to the front line and say, you know what? I'm gonna advocate for what's right. I'm gonna go that extra mile. Even though that man said he was asleep during the interview, but nevertheless, who's gonna come and stand on the front line and say, you know what? I'm going to advocate for not only Nolan, but all the boys, all these boys that been going through stuff. Who's going to come stop? I always say this right here: don't talk about it, be about it. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like in our culture, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a deficit there when it comes to standing up for what's really right. We'll stand up for anything. We'll stand up for anything that we can do behind the keyboard. But who's going to get out there and actually go into the community and say, you know what, I'm going to take this community back? Can I say I do? Yeah, I didn't have to do summer school, but guess what? I know that those babies need. I know that those babies need me every year, and I go do it. Even though the benefit I may get a little money, but I could have been at home. When it comes to in my community, I know baby our children struggle. So I'm in the community. You know what I'm saying? I do things, I try. We need more parents. We need to get back like it was, and more parents to be knowledgeable and be aware because that's one of the issues right there. He, and I look at I have four black sons, and I think about them with this Nolan case. I think about them all the time, and I say to myself, Cookie, you did a damn good job. And you know why I say that? Because I was hands on. I knew who their friends were. I took them to where they had to go. You know what I'm saying? They get mad at me. We didn't have no friends. No, you didn't have those kind of friends, but you had
Yeah.
friends. You get what I'm saying? We got to get
Hmm.
back to we're so disconnected that we got to
Yes.
get back to what work. We have to because right now it's not working.
Miss Cookie, parents
Mm.
today want to be their children friend
You
instead
right.
of a
You right.
parent.
You right. You
My
exactly right.
baby will be 51 in October. He moved to Louisiana about 6 years ago. He was working temp service for the highway department. A bunch of white boys. He called me. He said, "Mama, guess what?" I said, "What?" "Some of my coworkers want to go alligator wrestling this weekend, and they want me to go." I said, "What color are they?" I said, "Boy, you better not take your black ass down there with them." That's
Yeah,
exactly
right.
what I told him.
But you
He
He
know
was
said,
what?
the
"Mom,"
I
first
I
got.
said, "You bet
one.
not." He
But
The
I'm
didn't
gonna
thing
say
go
is,
this.
like,
either.
I
I'm gonna
learned
say
my
this right
lesson
here.
dipping my toe in with them people too. My son is mixed, and I thought everything was all fine and dandy, going to out to eat with him and everything. But as soon as I stopped dating that white boy, they flipped the switch and tried to get my son and everything else, and I refused to give up. And now to this day, I got full custody of my child.
Can I ask
This
y'all a
what.
question? Because
Mhm,
I want to be
mhm.
unbiased. Because at some point we can't just keep looking at the blue people. We gotta hold Nolan's mother accountable too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because there's no way my son is going over here every day and I ain't met a soul ever.
Well,
I don't
now,
know these people.
now,
But if
according
you
to
if you
Judge
heard you
Ashline,
The
she
word
knew.
every day. Hmm. I'm sorry.
According to
You
Miss
got it.
Ashline, she knew Christina. She went to school with her. They're in the
Yeah,
same
well, yeah, me
community.
and you going to school ain't you knowing me personally.
Oh,
I could have went to
so
school with you, Cookie, or Taquan. You know what I'm saying? I could have went to school with y'all. Y'all don't. That doesn't mean you know me. When my kids start coming, like Cookie said, we got to bring that back. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't allowed to be like you said today. These kids are free. All right, you be all right. See you later. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just my kid. Just ain't. You know what I'm saying? Who you going with? I need to call somebody who's gonna be on the boat. Who's driving the boat? You get what
hmm
I'm saying? Like it's just stuff as a parent. Like you're not gonna go and stay with these people for the past 6 years,
hmm
and I don't know these people at
okay, but
all.
this right here. This right. Let me say this right here. When you say always, always is not factual because we never do the same thing the same way, right? There, we know that there was no way that Nolan could always be at this little boy house. There's no way that because he went. Think about it. He was in college. So he and then even when he was out of school, guess what? He had to stay at home sometime. So the thing about it is, what would be factual is he may have spent a lot of time with his friends. We don't know it. That's what little boy say. Okay, whatever. Okay, when you think about okay, you said holding a parent accountable, right? Okay, so was she wrong for wanting to? And I don't know, and I'm speculating, right? So don't get me now. Okay, but was she wrong for wanting her family to be in a better neighborhood, experience a better life?
I,
She was.
I didn't say that, Miss Cookie. So you don't. You mean I even like I played that clip of Don Lemon saying my
Yeah,
mother knew all my best friends.
I did
We're
too.
not talking
but
about
they
college.
were not.
We're talking
They
about
were not
he
her.
been with this boy since he said eighth grade, coming to his house every weekend, all of that, and you never met these people. You
But
never
Miss
wanted to
But
know.
how do we know that's true? How do
Miss
we know
Parker, I
that's
don't
But
true?
believe that.
here's the thing. There's another family member of theirs that stepped up and said, Nolan lived with us for 3 years while she went to school. While
Why the
she went
mother
to
went?
school. While the
Why the
mother was
mother
in
went to
school.
school?
Yes. While she went
And
back to school.
the mother said she didn't know her.
No, it was her family member. So clearly, I mean, not to say it like that, but she was busy with school and everything else. So who's to say she wasn't too much paying attention to what he was doing? Because no trouble was coming her way. He wasn't getting trouble in school. She wasn't hearing
It
nothing
was
about him
it was one.
outside.
Let me ask you a question. You're saying that one of Warren's
One of Christine's family members
Christine
stepped up. Yes,
Christine.
they stepped up and said they put up a post and said Nolan lived with us for 3 years. It was a guy. Why
So
Christine
he
was in
lived with
school.
Christine family.
Yes, for 3 years while she
I
was
can
going
see
back
that.
to school.
So what's wrong
This
with
is what
that?
I'm saying.
That's
This is what
like
I'm
saying if you're
saying.
trying to better your education and go back to school and focus on school, and your sister might be like, let him come stay here with us, or we'll switch him back and
Mhm.
forth, or
Mhm.
I'll help you out while you focus on your school and get your education.
Mhm.
So
What's
So
wrong with
it's
I
that?
not.
think what she's saying is while she was staying with that family member, that may be been the time that he was going to Warren them house.
Okay,
I get
got
what you're saying.
I got you. I got you.
But another thing Warren said, which makes me don't believe he stayed like that. You keep saying that's your best friend, but you ain't never been to his house either. So how is
because
that your
that's not
best
his
friend?
because that's not his best friend.
Best
I mean,
friend. Come
that
on,
let
that's
me
not his
tell
best
you,
friend.
that's not his best friend. This is the thing. Okay, I have four sons, right? So a lot of kids have came through. I mean, I done had a lot of kids come through over the years. You know, my kids were younger because they're grown now. I knew their best friends, right? Did I know all the people on the outside that they may have met in school? No, because I'm not in school with him. But the
Yeah.
people that came to my house and the people that grew up with them and the people that they actually acknowledged as their best friends were really and truly their best friends because I knew their mothers, I knew
Mm-hmm.
their fathers. Now my kids didn't go and spend the night over everybody's house, but I would drop them off and I would pick them up or whatever, so forth. So the thing about it is, you gotta, and we all know this. What he's trying to do is he's trying to create this connection, right? As if I've been knowing him we've been knowing each other all our lives, ever since eighth grade. Just because I've been knowing you since eighth grade, just because we have established a relationship, we may have even went to the same school together, but and you may have want to use the term best friend, but you wasn't really my best friend because you met my daddy out of all that time, two times, as he stated. You never met my mom. So how do you call us best friends? We're not best friends. You just did listen. I was the trophy. Y'all liked it me. Y'all let me hung out with y'all for time being.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden now, and I don't want to be right, but all of a sudden now your true colors came out because see I study how somebody what they say, right? He
Mm-hmm.
referenced him as his best friend. Then he didn't reference him as his best friend. He referenced the other guys as his friends, but Nolan was
Th-
the tag along. He
Yes.
was the
Do you
exactly.
tag
notice
along.
around the time that they met, that was COVID time. So it's like they met each other in school. They found out they like video games together. Was playing video games together and everything. That's not a best friend. That's just somebody you know.
Exactly. Is that but see, you gotta think about it. They keep using this best friend, best friend. He was not your best friend. He was just somebody like associate, like at my job. They're not my friends. They're just associates. If we click and we happen to go to lunch together, all well, fine and good. But if I stay in my office and I never talk to you, then guess what? All well, fine and good. Because I lost my best friend a long time ago. I'm not trying to meet nobody else and be a best friend. And I think what is happening now in this generation, everybody is their friend. Everybody is their friend. That's my home girl. How long you been knowing them? 6 months. How's she your home girl? You get what I'm saying? Everybody is friends because it's these kids right here in this era. It's like they needy for attention and they want to feel like they belong to something. So I have so many friends. I have rich friends. I have poor friends. I just have friends. My grandma taught me long time ago. She told us, she said, they're not your friends and they're not your friends. You handle them accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I got older, because I didn't know what them words mean when I was younger. It wasn't until I got older that I realized that people will be around you for certain reasons.
So will.
They'll gravitate towards you for certain reasons. And when I look back on it at my old age, and I'm like, well, why did she hang around me like she did? You know why? Because my granddaddy would give us money. They bought us the latest shoes, the latest clothes, and I'm the only child, right? So if I was going downtown to go get some shoes, I would take her with me to go get some shoes. But think about it. When she got her money, did she call Cookie and say, Cookie, come with me and let me buy you something? No, she did not. So we have to look at it. I mean, people be saying you have to teach your kids not to. They was like, how do you tell your kids not to be around? white people, right? If my sons were home right now, I would not tell them, okay, don't be around white people, just be around black people. I wouldn't tell them that. I would state to my sons, you better watch everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot trust nobody. You better watch everybody. Better keep your eyes open. And if I tell you that that's not your friend, that's what I mean. That's not your friend. And believe me, before I state to you that that's not your friend, guess what? I done studied them long,
My
and I,
mother
I
told us it was 12 of us. She said, these your friends right here and your cousins. Everybody else is your associates until they prove themselves friend worthy.
Yes.
Oh, Miss Parker, can I give you my take on what I think might happen?
Go
I
ahead.
think they was on that island drinking and throwing stuff up their nose because Nolan's
mm,
black friends already said that them boys is wild and they love to shove stuff up their nose. I think a whole argument took place where Nolan probably was standing up for whoever that was arguing
I
on
said
that
it too.
land, and they jumped on Nolan out there in the water. Because you got to think, all that panicking took place after they left that island. So why are they panicking if Nolan is alive on the boat?
I
And
said
mm-hmm,
that.
once they got to wherever they got to, they one took the phone one place, took the keys the other place to throw the pants off, but they forgot about that Life 360. So then
Mm-hmm.
once
They
they got
might
to,
have
they
not have
was like,
knew
just
about
get
it.
up. They just, yeah, they didn't know about it. So once they showed up for that phone, that's why it took them 15 minutes to get that lady that phone because he was out there making sure he deleted everything that was in that phone. They was trying to keep it to go take it somewhere to get wiped out because you never know what they might know, who they might know that know computers very well. So they was trying to hang on to it, but they couldn't. They
Mm-hmm.
started calling the police on the
Mm-hmm.
family, all that, and they couldn't do it. They had to give it back, and they still had Nolan body somewhere else, wherever they made that other stop at the bayou or whatever. I believe he was over there. I
mm-hmm,
believe he was over there, and I think maybe he was on the brink of either of passing and alive. And they tortured him for that next following day, and then after that, once the coast was clear, they went back out there and tried to throw him in the water, but they didn't throw him far enough, and he pushed right back onto land.
Mm-hmm.
I can
They
see that.
Mm-hmm.
never they never authenticated this, but one girl put up a post and she said they was doing nose candy and they was
Oh
trying to
yeah,
force
oh
some
yeah.
girls to do it. And Nolan was taking up for two girls. Say the
Yep.
girls didn't want to do it.
They was. If you see the
Cause
video
we
they
still got
have
to look
on
at this
land,
too. And we got to look at this too about the altercations. Who was Tristan into it with? You know what I'm saying? Who took Tristan phone? Cause he was saying, "Give my phone."
I
Who was?
don't believe
What was
I
that? You know, it's still it's so much. What black boy was the white man arguing with? You get what I'm saying? So
Miss
we
Parker.
it's a lot of missing pieces to this.
I don't believe
it
that
was a
was
lot of.
Tristan
Go
saying,
ahead,
"Give me
Arnett.
my phone." I think they bullied him
Go ahead,
into
Arnett.
saying that.
It's a
Why?
lot. It was a lot of energy going on that island. Because if
I
you look
do.
at that land video that they were showing, even the people that they was arguing, like just random people out there, everybody was either drunk or high.
Because
Yes, there was. Yes.
why the person saying, "Give me my
Come on,
phone"?
Fourth of July weekend. Stop it.
Nolan's phone was the only one missing.
And why did y'all give the daddy, if you his best friend, y'all gonna give the phone. Like, yeah, we have his phone. Here you go. We so sorry about your loss. And you know what I'm saying? Why did y'all want to hold on to that boy's phone?
But then
Eh,
this is my thing too. Okay, so we're talking about the phone situation. If he contacted the mother, right? You have okay. So Wyatt and somebody had the phone, right? So you contacted the mother to see. I don't correct me if I'm wrong now. To see if Nolan made it home or to let her know that Nolan didn't make it, right? But it's 11 o'clock. So you know that you have this boy's phone. So whatever Warren, why didn't you tell the mother that you had the phone. It's 11 o'clock, so y'all have the child's cell phone. So I mean, I don't understand that part. So y'all was what y'all were holding the cell phone because y'all thought that maybe he'll come back. But my whole thing is what got me, and y'all listen to it because I heard y'all talk about it. Now he stated that when he heard that Nolan was dead or whatever, passed away, whatever the correct term y'all want to use. He lost track. He stated that he said he thought he woke up.
He sure did.
Hold on 1 minute. You thought he woke up. So
Woke
let
up
me
from
ask you
what?
a hold on. So let me ask you a question, right? Because now I'm lost. You all knew that y'all left him at left him on at the place. I mean not at the place. Y'all left him on the island, right?
With
So
Katie.
yeah, no, with Katie. Now Katie said that he was going back to get on the boat, right? Okay. So Katie said he was going back to get on the boat. He wasn't with Katie. When y'all contacted Katie that night, you all knew that he wasn't with Katie. So then
But
you
they
said
don't
you
know
thought
Katie,
he
remember?
they didn't know Katie. Initially, they didn't know Katie. At first, they didn't know who Katie was at all. So then you say you thought that he had woke up. So what did he wake up from? Did y'all leave him somewhere? And you thought maybe he had gotten a ride, found somebody, got a ride home or something. I mean, what did you actually think that he woke up from? At that point right there, I was just like, you know what? Either Wyatt something to do with it, or either Katie and Wyatt may have dated or messed around or something, and he go this little nice looking African American boy, and he's talking to this Caucasian little girl, and everybody looking like, we don't like
He,
that. It's either that
Cause
or
you got to think, Miss
mm,
Cookie. Wake up, hell, the last time you told this man, the last time you laid eyes on him, he was cuddling Katie.
exactly. But he was cuddling Katie, but then Katie, are you lying? Because Katie, because let me tell y'all this right here. So I was on Officer Tatum's when he had his live, right. I was on there, so I kept texting the questions that I was asking about. Okay, so where did he wake up from? So I kept testing it so much until they blocked me, right. But when
Mhm.
they but when they blocked me, they was talking about the like the receipts that they had, and they had receipts that they didn't show, but they did have a receipt because they don't have permission to show Katie's text messages without Katie having knowledge, right. But the Warren guy did have the text messages that his friend sent him asking about Nolan. So that means that at one point that night, you all knew that Nolan did not make it. He wasn't with Katie. So at that point, this is my thing. You all knew that he did not make it back with Katie, but you all had his keys and you all had his phone. The first thing I would have done was said, you know what? We have Nolan's keys and we have his phone. Can I bring it to you? Okay, you all have not one boat, but y'all have two boats, right? So y'all know he missing. It's early in the morning, right? Y'all are friends, so you know Nolan do not have a boat, right? So why didn't Wyatt, who granddaddy has two boats, suggest, you know what, Miss Wells and Daddy Wells, we'll take you back out there and we'll look for Nolan together. Why did the coach have to wake up at 5 something in the morning and take now we best friends. We A spoon coons, as my cousin would say it. So why did the coach have to wake up and take the daddy and the mother out there to look for their son? But we friends. We
and
homeboys.
when he said that they went in search, that was a lie. Cause it was proven that next morning that Warren said they was out there searching, they was all meeting up for breakfast at a restaurant.
Yeah,
Yep.
because the girl told that. She told that she saw them and she said that one of the guys or somebody asked them about Nolan. It just like I said and I say again, I just hope that the grand jury indict. So once they have an indictment. So once they have an indictment, that they can this information and all these little interviews that Officer Tatum is bringing forth. that they can utilize them, because they can't utilize them right. They can't utilize them right now because the grand jury is only going to see so much, and that's what the district attorney allows them to see.
But you know
Hmm.
what, Miss Cookie?
Huh?
How the grand jury moved is not the information that the district attorney got. It's how she presents that information to the grand jury.
If she presented well, then they'll get an indictment.
She don't want no
So
indictment. She best friends with
I
the
know that.
stepmama.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say one more thing, and I'm just gonna drop down and finish watching. But I feel like now with this reward money up, now we're getting these photos and videos, and they all make sense. Like the one photo where there's looks like there's Nolan laying at the bottom, and there's a boy over top of him looking like he's trying to hit him. Someone went back and looked and seen that Nolan was also friends with that boy. I think somebody mentioned his name in the chat, and that he's also friends with Warren and Wyatt and them too. I feel like we're going to get justice, but we're only going to get a piece of justice. Like we're only going to arrest that
Hmm.
person and that
Hmm.
person, and even then, it's not even going to be a felony. It's not going to be like a 35-year sentence. It's going to be a misdemeanor, and that's
Yeah.
how it's going to
Yep.
get handled. Here, y'all take that and shut up.
That
Hello, good evening.
Yep.
125K gonna
How
make
you
somebody
doing?
talk.
But
Let me
thank
let
you.
Miss
Good,
It's been
good.
Stacy
nice
come in.
meeting everybody.
Hold
I
on,
enjoy.
Taquan. Oh, stay right
Mhm.
there, Taquan. Hey, Miss Stacy, welcome to the panel.
Hey,
What's your
Miss
take?
Parker.
Hold on, Taquan. Don't drop down yet.
Hey, Miss Parker, you're looking good, girl. First, let me say that.
Thank you.
And hello to everybody that's tuning in and that's trying to rationalize this craziness that we seeing and watching and giving all of us anxiety. But I just want to say that, first of all, I'm with you, Miss Parker, on that part about Miss Christine should have known who his friends were. And I kind of think, oh, let me turn my car off. Wait a minute. Okay, can you hear me still?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of feel like she didn't really know his friends because I really believe that they were all hanging out 3 or 4 days a week, probably when school was out. Because Warren did mention that they was all cool and hanging out and doing this and doing that. And he said he done seen his daddy done came to the Waffle House a few times. He said he met the father. So
Two.
the father was pretty much the one who was really seeing about the boys because the mama probably going to school and is she in the healthcare thing? She doing something else going on. And if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, they got a daughter, right? So she probably was tending more to the daughter, and he was focused more the father on football and stuff. So he was probably more or less knew the friend side of who Warren was hanging out with.
He said he met the father twice.
I mean,
In
who
eighth
Nolan was
grade.
hanging out with. Now,
In eighth grade.
now,
Keeping
what
that
I
nine in
do
eighth
believe my
grade.
aspect on it,
Go ahead, Miss Stacy. You cutting in and
yeah.
out. Go ahead, Miss
uh,
Stacy.
okay, we have to think about it like this too. White people and how they value friendship and us is two different things. First of all, the way they even act and treat their people and us treat our people is two different things with friendship. White people probably look at it as, I ain't white, so I can't really say for sure, but
Yeah.
I know that he felt like that was his friend. He was hanging out with him every day. Whether you spent the night at his house or not, or knew his mother, his dad knew you. Your parents knew him. He still looked at that as loyalty as a friend. Where we on the other side, if we ain't that ain't
Mm.
our friend, if our parents don't know you, first of all, you can't even go spend a night at nobody's house. First of all, you can't you we couldn't even hardly go spend a night at our black friend's house because your mama tell you before you get when she pull up, don't ask can nobody come over and don't ask can you stay. That's the first thing they
Yeah.
telling us for when we pull up. So and then they ain't want to let us stay too much because daddy and brothers and uncles and stuff, and we girls, people just
Yeah.
certain things be going on. So they're a little more lenient with their kids than we are. And I know that for a fact because my kids went to school. They 35 now, but all three of my kids went to school with white kids. And them white kids would be at my house. Now my kids wasn't at their house, but they done been to my house. They done came to pajama parties and spent the night. And I ain't did nothing but met the mother maybe once, maybe some of them I don't even think I met twice.
Mm.
But they got my number and their kids stayed. So they're a little bit more lenient with things with their kids. I do believe in my heart than we are. Second of all, where's Katie's daddy? Where's he at?
Yeah.
Cause I
On the
just feel
run.
like just feel like I don't know. I just got a gut feeling that it ain't the boys. Now I ain't gonna lie. If in the beginning I'm thinking, oh, these boys done did some crazy stuff. But as we get to talking about it and more and more stuff coming out, I don't know. Katie kind of looking suspect to me. Katie looking
Mm-hmm.
real suspect to me because the Warren even said on this. I don't know if you watched part 4 yet. They dropped part 4 today. Warren even said that he was in the water. He saw Nolan with Katie, like hugged up with Katie in the water. So he Nolan is really digging Katie. That's why he decided to stay back and hang out with Katie. Now, could
I
it
don't
be
believe
very
that.
well? Could it be very well that Nolan's dad, I mean Katie's dad, or some of her people ain't happy about her being with no boy of
I
color?
said it was a
Or
possibility too.
Yeah, true, true.
you know,
But
Yeah.
because
why did the boys lower up before a body even popped up? You explore
well,
all those
Come on, so
options
we
and it
looking
takes
at
you
Katie,
back
but
to
they lawyered up
why
before the
Laura.
body popped up.
They didn't even know if he was passed away yet or not. And
so
they
the boy
jumped and got a
on the
lawyer
fourth
and threw a
video,
statement.
all of them didn't
Hold on,
lawyer
Miss
up the very
Stacy.
next day. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold on, Miss Stacy. Give me a second. Shank Rock, we have the infamous Shank Rock. He has been breaking this case down. He's been on it. He doesn't sleep, nothing. This is what he does. He breathes Nolan. He stays up all night covering everything. Shane, seeing this last interview, because I ain't seen part 4 yet. I'm on 3. I ain't even finished 3. What's your thought, Shane? Is it Katie and her daddy? Is it the boys?
Salute Miss Parker and salute everybody. I'm gonna
Hey,
build
Shane.
off of.
Hey,
I'm a.
Shane.
I'm gonna pick up right where Stacy left off at. So Warren said that when he saw Nolan cradling Katie, they were in the water. He said that Nolan liked the Katie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've said it from the very beginning. It had something to do with Katie. Somebody or some people did not like the fact that a melanated star athlete named Nolan Wells that had a bright future ahead of him was entertaining Katie, and Katie was entertaining him back. Now on part 3, Warren mentioned that when he seen Nolan cradling Katie, he said, Nolan was smiling, and he said, I said to Nolan, dude, you crazy. That was suspect to me.
Yes.
What was the reason that you said to him, boy, you crazy? It could have been something innocent, but coming from Warren is suspect. And here's another reason why I really don't trust Warren. Part 4, he said, and he said it before, but part 4, he made it very clear that the last time he saw Nolan was 3 p.m. Well, if y'all left at 4:30, and if you and others was telling him to get on the boat, asking him to get on the boat at 4:30, you're lying. Because
Yeah, yeah.
which one is it? Did you last see him at 3 p.m. or did you last see him at 4:30 p.m. when you and others were asking him and trying to get him on the boat? Last but least, because I got to get out of here. My live is coming up at 10 p.m. and I got a lot of information that has been dumped on me. Last but
Okay.
least, why would Nolan? Now maybe it's just Shank Rock, because Shank Rock is very cautious about things. But why would Nolan be wanting to get on a boat that's sinking?
Exactly.
Shake,
It
you
don't make
hit
no
it on the
sense.
head as always.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. It's sinking,
But
but you want me to
I
get on
know
a
I ain't
boat.
getting on no sink. We know we not getting on no
Me
boats
either.
and sinking. I'm
black
catching
Nope.
folks ain't jumping on no sinking boat. We saw the
Nope.
Titanic. But let me throw this at you, Shay. Like you say, he was a promising football star. I don't think, as prejudiced as they is, if a promising football star that might go to the NFL. Katie daddy was going, she didn't care because she knew Katie would be hooked up with some money early. Because you know our stars like them snow bunnies,
Yes,
our
ma'am.
athletes.
So many people was trying to, say, well, maybe the dad was behind it. But like you said, the dad might have been okay with it because, well, at least I know my daughter gonna be set.
Mm-hmm.
So the dad might have been cool with it. But I promise y'all, somebody on that island, even if it was only one person, somebody didn't like that. And also on part three, Warren talked about his brother being in the fight, right? Now, of course, Officer Tatum asked him, was Nolan around? Was Nolan in the fight? And of course, Warren was like, no, Nolan wasn't in the fight. I don't believe that. My opinion. I believe that Nolan had something to do with that fight. Now, whether he was in the fight, because on one picture we saw Warren's brother nose bloody. So,
But
in
that
my opinion,
You know
Mm.
what, Shane
it,
Rock? I thought
go,
when I first came up, when I first started watching this, and I thought it was the boys, that was the first thing I thought about. He got into an argument with one of them boys, and that's the one that was bleeding. And why would I get on the boat with all of y'all?
bingo,
And for y'all might
bingo.
jump
We
on me and
just
throw
got the
me off the
fine.
boat. Like, make
Yep.
that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Bingo. Now on the
That was
on
my
the
first thought.
interview, you can
Yep.
hear Warren saying, expressing, man, get the F on the boat, man, get the F on the boat. Who does that?
Who talk
Why
like
were
that to
y'all
your
so?
friend?
Why were y'all so
Mm-hmm.
wanting? And look, and then I'm gonna digress. If it was other boats out there and other associates, buddies, and friends were out there, why were y'all so hooked on Nolan getting on this
The boat.
sinking boat?
I
Shank,
agree with you,
let me
Shank. I
It
feel like
makes
it
sense.
did come back down to Katie. I feel like it's a whole group effort. It started with a whole incident about them probably arguing about Katie. And then Nolan, well, you got to think Nolan was the only black kid left. All the other two that was on the island with them, that came with them in the group, they all gone. So he's by himself. So whoever he got into an argument with, they all just pounced and jumped on him.
And
Shank,
then
let me
and
throw this at you right quick.
go ahead.
When he Warren said that fight, when he said he was crazy when he looked at Katie, I'm thinking Wyatt wanted Katie, but
Mm,
Katie wanted Nolan.
bingo,
Wyatt and Nolan got
Yeah,
to
yeah,
arguing
I can see
about
that.
Katie and got
bingo,
into a fight. When
Hold
I,
bingo.
on, Miss
I
Maddie. Hold that thought. No, when Warren said we were telling people to get off the boat because it was sinking. So do y'all want him on the boat or do y'all want the people off the boat? Which one is it?
Facts, facts, facts. And
I
for them
still
to
think it was them kids and them parents covered it up.
I do
and
too.
And for them to
Yep.
say, "Oh, but they was friends and everything," man, let's keep it real. How many of us personally known, or we've been in situations with our friends before, and something kicked off just at the spare moment, and we and our friends fighting each other, or
And let me,
something. Go ahead.
just because I'm grinning your face and be around you every day, don't mean I'm
Bingo,
your friend. I can be
bingo,
Yep.
your friend and be hating on you the whole
The
time I'm
same
pretending
time.
to be your
Mm-hmm.
friend.
bingo,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 71
bi-
years old. I've been around the block a time or two.
bingo. I mean, I don't gotta say no more. Bingo. So
It's
all
a
that.
hot mess.
Yeah, all that trying to dress it up like he's this nice guy, man. Go away with all that, man. We've been around folks like that. I've been around folks like that.
He a
Come
They
on
sucker.
now.
just warned to do that interview to take the heat off of Wyatt.
And he
Facts.
was
Yep.
so cocky. He didn't even attempt. You see some of them people and they end up being guilty for taking out their kids or something. They be on camera. Oh my baby. Oh, I miss my best friend. He didn't even attempt to even fake it because
Facts.
he
And
already
if you
know that
notice,
he's gonna get away with it.
he wouldn't call Nolan by name too many times.
No, he
Yep.
wouldn't.
Yep. Yep.
When he
You
would
No, he
say
right.
wouldn't.
Nolan, he would say, him, my buddies, except my friends would let him hang out. My buddies. I was over there with my buddies.
Facts.
I thought Nolan was your best friend. You can't even
Facts.
call, you didn't even offer his mother your condolences, and that's your best friend?
Facts.
You didn't go search for him, and that's your best friend. You didn't attend his funeral. I don't care. You can think I did anything in the world. If my best friend leave here, I'm gonna go to the view. I'm going. If you put
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
me out, I'm gonna get there. You're
Facts.
gonna have to put me out.
And then
How
let
did
me
Mm-hmm.
we? How
say
did he
this.
get to the place where where his friend washed up at and not have a breakdown?
He had
Facts.
more emotions
Fa-
and excitement for the water and the
Oh
weather and the
wow.
boat than
Facts.
he did for Nolan even being gone.
That's
Facts.
called psycho.
And let me say
First
this
of
real quick, y'all. Then in the interview, not one time did he show any kind of emotions. Maybe in the interviews that's going to come out, the
Okay,
other
I'm
ones that's
dropping
going to come.
down.
But he never showed no emotions. He never even tried to say, "Well, damn man, I just wish that we wasn't drinking as much, man. Damn, I wish I would have just been able to just tell Nolan, hey Nolan, man, slow down from drinking, or make just a straight intellectual conversation he's having." I ain't buying it. But Miss Parker and the riders and everybody on the panel, I really appreciate y'all. Miss Parker, thank you for letting me come up. It'll be 10 o'clock. It'll be an hour before you know it. I got to drop down and hope to see y'all at
I'm
10
getting out
o'clock
of
on
here
my
right now so I
demonstration.
can come over there with you.
All right.
Yes.
Salute
Y'all
everybody.
make sure y'all pull up and Shank. I got the link right there on the screen. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna pull up over there with Shank. He's dropping some new information and stuff. So it's gonna be y'all, it's gonna be something to come out every day. Like they said, the pictures, people are dropping pictures, Miss Natty and Miss Cookie and Taekwon, people dropping pictures. I think this reward money, and I agree with what 40 Double D said, start dropping the money 5,000 a day. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get people talking and stuff like that. But Aunt Natty, thank you again. I hope I see you at Shank Rocks. Cookie, I hope I see you over there at Shank Rocks. Taekwon, of course, I know I'm gonna see you, but I hope
Yeah.
everybody pulls up over. I want to hear Shank when he's ready to drop next, because he's on to the case more than I am, because I've been working. So I'm just catching up, replaying back little stuff. I haven't got caught up with part 4, but I hope to hear it over there. But thank you, ladies, so much for pulling up on me again. And also you, Stacy, thank you. Any
See you
last
Thank
later,
you, Miss
Miss
words?
Parker.
Parker.
All right, sisters. All right, thank y'all. I love y'all. Man, thank y'all so much for the gems, the super stickers, the super chats, those that went over there on the Twitch, that joined me over there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys just for dialoguing, giving y'all honest, unbiased perspective on the situation. My girl Payday, of course, man. Shout out to her. Go follow Payday, because when Shank Rock ain't live, Payday is live covering this case. So y'all make sure y'all pull up. Miss Cookie, you got anything you would like to say? I think she's gone. Salute everybody. I'm going over there to Shank Rocks. That's his link in the chat. Miss Minnie, thank you, sister, for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? As always, man, to all you awesome content creators. I seen Chill coming here, my sister Honey 5K, my sister Samad. Make sure y'all subscribe to all the channels, even if you do a playback and stuff like that. If you are a content creator and y'all come in here, y'all want y'all link drop, I don't mind dropping it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to support all of y'all and stuff like that. So I appreciate y'all for, like I said, for dialoguing with me. Make sure y'all go check out To the Uncensored as well. I know she's covering a lot of cases over there and stuff like that. She's also doing her annual backpack giveaway tomorrow. You guys, make sure if you're in the Atlanta College Park area and your kids are in need of school supplies and stuff like that, don't be ashamed, you guys. It's okay. We all go through that, you know what I'm saying? And she's not charging anything. She's doing this for free. My sister Sweet Honey, she's gonna give me her dates on the backpack giveaway, and it saves y'all some money, you know what I'm saying? Because school supplies are expensive. Everybody knows bills and things are kicking ass right about now, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them sisters for doing great work in the communities and stuff. And like Miss Cookie said, we need more of it. We got to take our communities back. And that's kind of how you start to do that. And Shank Rock, shout out to you for being boots on the ground in North Carolina. He's also covered the Shanquilla Robinson case. He be with Miss Salamandra and Quilla and stuff. He's at every court date and stuff. And again, she was one of those in one of those situations where everybody ain't your friends, everybody ain't your partners. So it ain't only happening with the YT people. It's happening with us too. And we need to get back to all of that. Everybody's got to put everything on the floor again. And like Miss Cookie said, we need somebody that's going to stand up for all of it, not some of it, because the color of people, but all of it, because we are just as bad. Okay, salute everybody. It's the boy or Katie. Well, her people on the boat. The judge page back up on Facebook. Oh, she's on Facebook, honey. Miss Parker, great live and discussion with your cute self. Thank you. Thank you, Black Warrior. Thank you. Yeah, y'all go enjoy the rest of y'all Friday. I will see y'all over Shank Rocks. I'm excited to see what he has to say for sure, because I know he's great. Break it down. Somebody might even be a
Miss Parker, the YouTube star, lighting up the screen, you know who you are, bringing news you can use and a laugh or two. She's got the facts, the fun, and the realest view, with a voice so smooth and a smile so bright. She's shining like a beacon in the darkest night. Deep dives on the stories that really matter. She's breaking it down, cutting through the chatter. Pop and stay a while, you'll feel right at home. She's got a little something for everyone, with a heart so big and an attitude strong. Miss Parker's where you know you belong. She's an advocate, a friend, a voice for the unheard, asking all the questions, never missing a word or a second to none. She's blazing like the sun. Miss Parker, the only one. She's got the news to amuse and the truth to reveal. Digging for the answers, keeping it real. For those who need a champion, she's standing tall. Fighting for justice, she's giving her all. With every upload, she's making a change. Bringing people together, no matter the range. So hit that subscribe, don't miss a beat. Miss Parker's got the content that can't be beat. Questions we all have, she's not afraid to ask. Uncovering the story, she's up to the task. With a laugh, a wink, and a spirit so true.